a basic bitch hot sauce. But Louisiana hot is a little more on the vinegar, if I remember correctly. Where the Tabasco, while very vinegary, has like sweet undertones. So. Oh, it turned out really good.
Hey guys.
So, you ready to talk about Bretonia, flesh eater quartz?
Hey.
Well, yeah, of course. That's like what I'm entirely here for, is just talking about zombified Bretonia. I mean, zombies. I mean, vampires.
The Green Knight, what?
Yeah, what? Huh?
What?
Bretonian myth, what? King Arthur?
I've been doing little snippets of research over the past, week. But I finally, when I had, an hour before, we came here, I'm like, let me just do a little more, just to top off, make sure I'm fresh. And I just did a whole deep dive into, why Flesh Eater Quartz is Bretonia. And I was looking at it, and I'm like, they're fucking Bretonia. There's no way.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to go over 2 theories after this main segment tonight.
All right.
Mine has to deal with the realms.
Oh, you did start, didn't you?
Oh, yeah.
You bastard. Welcome to Lorecast Eternals. We can't do intros right because we're stupid.
So, by the way, welcome to Lorecast Eternals.
I am your beautiful host. Subjectively beautiful.
There you go.
Mitchell.
There you go. I was like, where's the name there, bud?
I'm waiting for a name, Mitchell. I am Jacob. Hello, hello.
I am Phil. And today, we have the beautiful guest host.
Once again.
Jay.
Hi,
Hey.
Jay.
Hi.
Back again.
I'm petting my own face right now.
It's a weird place to have your face.
I know.
So, do you know how I know that we love Jay more than any of our other guests? The Night Haunt episode with Jay is our longest episode.
Is it?
Yeah. I was sitting there and I was...
By a fair chunk, too.
Yeah, by
isn't it?
about almost 30 minutes. Because I'll go through our episode list and listen every now and then just to see how shitty we were and the issues we had when we first started and see if we're pulling any of those bad habits along as we go on and on. And I was just listening to the Night Haunt episode and I'm like, man, this is almost 3 hours long. And I was like, wait a minute. The only other episode that was almost this long is The Ages, and it was 2 hours and 28 minutes, and the Night Hunt is 2 hours and 59 minutes and 59 seconds. I was like, damn.
Yeah. Do we have any random spiel that we need to do? It's hey, Discord.
We haven't done any more information on the giveaway because we suck, and we know that, and we'll be putting those posts out soon. We promise.
Yeah. Follow Facebook or join the Discord. Both links in the description.
For the record, it's not my fault.
Thank
I'm
you,
just
Jay.
saying.
Just putting that one out there. I'm going to fall back on the, us three, as in Mitchell, Phil, and Jacob combined, have a singular brain cell. And right now, that singular brain cell was not focused on trying to get information about the giveaway out, and we're sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, mine was trying to get the new mic set up, and then I completely failed, so we're sitting here once
The
again.
old mic setup. Yeah, just so you know, we have the possibility to give y'all better sound quality, but, y'all can go fuck yourselves, obviously. No, we're just dumb, but we're gonna hopefully next episode we'll have that up. I don't think the mic system where we have the new mic system is very guest friendly right now because we only have 3 mics, right?
Yeah, we only have 3 mics.
Well, I mean, technically we have 4 with our
It wouldn't work.
old one, but...
Yeah,
it doesn't work with it?
No.
They
Wow.
all have to be the same mic.
Yeah, how much do those mics cost again? Singularly?
$30 to $40.
Okay, so it's not horribly expensive.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Yeah, no, but it's still one of those things where it's it is a chunk of change that needs to be expended.
We are going to attempt to get our shit together to get that working for y'all. And we give y'all a 50% possibility of it happening.
Maybe.
Maybe.
We'll see.
Possibly.
How many listeners are we up to?
Oh. I think Spotify is probably our biggest margin by far. I think we have 300-something followers on Spotify. We have 11 followers on Podbean, one of which is ours because I made the executive decision that Lorecast Eternals follows Lorecast Eternals.
What?
And I think we have 3 or 4, maybe 5 followers on Apple Podcast.
Yeah,
and then we have other various things and whatnot.
We're at 373 followers on
Spotify?
Spotify.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think even to this day, a little under half of our downloads and whatnot come from Spotify. So.
Except that one day from Philadelphia that we just... Not Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Yeah. Well, that was probably Philadelphia.
Was that through Podbean or was that through...
It was... I don't know. It didn't tell me.
I've heard it's always sunny in Philadelphia.
I certainly... Yeah.
Okay.
I had something I was going to say, but then my brain made the connection of what he said, and I just short-circuited. So I'm just going to drink my beer.
And that's my segment. I gotta go.
All right, Jay,
Bye,
get
Jay.
the fuck out of
Pleasure
here.
having you here.
But no,
You're kind of trapped in that side of the room.
I don't know if they've told you, but I forget what day it was. But one day we're just sitting there chilling, like checking our demographics and whatnot on Podbean, and it's like, yeah, you have like 300 people watching in Pennsylvania or Philadelphia. You're like, oh, that's kind of cool. And then it was like, cool, 350, 400, 450. We're like, it's been 2 minutes. What the fuck?
Yeah, no, that day was wild.
Yeah, for some reason, that state just decided to go aggressively hard on podcasts, and I'm not complaining. I'm just surprised because I don't know what was happening, but there was some AOS bullshit going on in that state.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, no idea what that was about. Anyway, we should probably move on to the actual meat of our podcast
Yes.
now.
Oh my gosh, that's the shortest intro we've ever done.
Never mind, we need to keep bullshitting.
Well, no,
Jacob, what's new in your life?
I want to die.
Hey.
I got pest control at my house, so I feel like an adult.
Oh, we're actually.
I was joking,
through
but
this.
okay.
Wow. Oh, single glistening tear.
It's expensive.
Read the room, seriously.
No, I refuse.
So Bretonia?
It's fine. Yeah, we're doing Flesh Eater Courts. Finally! We've been trying to do this episode for like 2 months, but someone kept not contacting Jay.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Philip?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Felipe?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Filipino?
Once again, not my fault.
They don't really.
How could you know? Literally, one man was in charge.
I love you, Phil, but for like 3 weeks it was like, hey, did you text Jay? No, I'm gonna get to it. Okay, cool. A week later, me and Mitchell. So, Phil, did you like text Jay? Because you have to like tomorrow him? So if the answer to that question is no, we're like, fuck it, whatever. We'll do we'll do a bonus episode. It's fine. Do the episode next week. So you gonna text Jay so we can get the Flesh Eater Courts episode? Phil, no, yeah, I got it. Don't worry. A week later, the day before the podcast, like, hey, we haven't heard anything. Have you text Jay yet? Phil. So what if the answer's no for a second time? And
Yeah, no, I just kind of blanked on it.
but he did finally do it. You know, because third try is the number. Third try, third week. Third time testing my sanity. But we are
Keep you on your
fine.
toes.
We
look,
are.
look. We all just exist inside of my schizophrenia. I am the Carrion King.
Do you still
There
have
we
that
go.
block on
Hello.
your desk?
Oh no, it's on the bed over there.
So can I shoot Philip with it?
But
I mean, it. See,
do
this is
have
my
a
insanity,
Walther,
so
though.
like it's not going to make a difference. Because obviously you're a figment of my imagination.
100%.
we determined Jay is a figment of my imagination as well.
Yeah.
A figment of a figment. Wow, that.
You're going in deep, buddy.
I know. This is some serious Bretonia
I'm just
shit
waiting
right
for
now.
Leonardo DiCaprio to walk in and be like, oh, look, Inception.
Oh gosh.
But yeah, no. Flesh Eater Courts, finally doing it. We got a guest. It's going to be a good episode.
All right, so let's go ahead and launch on into this.
Speaking of, like, getting into the episode, we made a slight fuck-up last episode when talking about dragons. And we didn't talk
This is
about...
actually important because this is relevant.
Yeah, there's a reason why we didn't, like, go back and do a quick edit of the podcast. So we didn't talk about zombie dragons. And I decided to leave that... I put a message in the Discord saying, sorry, we fucked up. But the reason why we waited until now to address it is because zombie dragons and Flesh Eater Courts go
hand in
pretty
hand.
well together. They're used...
Best friends forever.
And if you're wondering what a zombie dragon is, it's just
No. Let them guess.
a dragon.
I have no idea. Like, what could a zombie dragon possibly be? Like,
So have
I
you
can
seen?
tell you it's not born a zombie.
Have you seen?
What?
Have you seen Monty Python and the Holy Grail?
No.
Do you know the scene? Do you know
maybe.
the scene with the rabbit?
Yes.
That's a zombie dragon. That's not a rabbit.
Is it behind the rabbit?
What's the number they count to? Is it 3? Yes, it's 3.
1,
'Cause-
2, 5. 3, sir. Oh, 3.
Hey-ya!
But yeah, so we're gonna go over zombie dragons in this episode as well. And so yeah,
Do we just want to start off with zombie dragons?
fuck it, let's start off zombie dragons.
They're zombies. Dragons.
They're dragons, and then they die, and then they become alive again.
Because magic?
Yes.
Got it.
So.
So moving on to the Carrion Queen. What?
No, so
Professional here at Lord
oh god, I'm gonna die.
Best in the business, 10 out of 10.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
We're actually part of the Better Business Bureau. We're that professional. Oh, okay, there goes the
Are we
cat.
part of the Chambers of Commerce?
I don't want to be a part of the Chambers of Commerce.
We don't have to be part of this Chamber of Commerce.
Okay, then I'm fine with that. Because, like, we've had some issues with one particular member of the Chamber of Commerce recently.
Just stop, Philip. Just stop. Trust me. Just stop. On the off chance that comes back and bites me in the ass, just stop. Please.
Pretty sure they know we don't.
Moving on.
Moving on.
No, so zombie dragons, basically like the ghoul kings and whatnot of the Flesh Eater courts. They covet zombie dragons pretty highly for obvious fucking reasons because it's dead, but it's still a dragon.
Yeah, they will search for
decades. They go to pretty great lengths to find like big old battlefields and mounds of bones and shit like that where you find their corpses to raise them. And I think normally they just go to like the higher up. I don't think they're ever just used as a military unit. I think they're exclusively mounts for the higher upper echelon of the Flesh Eater courts.
Well, yeah, because like, why would you let a dragon run rampant when you can literally sit on it and be like, yes, this is my, medicinal zombie dragon.
This is my emotional support undead dragon.
One could say that is it hippogriff?
Oh my god, they are like hippogriffs. Griffins.
I mean, I know what a hippogriff is, but what's the comparison to a zombie?
Bretonia.
Oh my fucking god.
Dude, you were the one who said I went on an hour-long rant.
I didn't know you were doing it like... Okay, no, that's fine. I'm just stupid.
They're noble steeds.
Oh, you did get a coffee.
They're steeds. I'll give you that. They're steeds.
We almost had everyone here showered in hot chocolate.
But the Soulbite Grave Lords, aka vampires, they also ride zombie dragons too, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And there's an important reason for that. And let's go ahead and get a little more into actual Flesh Eater courts. So the Flesh Eater courts, at their core, are basically a mutation on vampires.
And there are still vampires in the Flesh Eater court. There are just some pure-blooded, pure vampire in the Flesh Eater courts.
That's actually how this whole thing kind of gets started, is because those like OG vampires, it's the madness and whatnot that inhabits a Flesh Eater court. From what I could read and understand,
it's from a specific ruler.
Yeah, it's from the Carrion King is who started it all. Supposedly.
We're getting a little in deep. So, broad term, the Flesh Eater courts, what they are is they are a faction that more or less reside in Shyish. They are under the Pantheon of Death. Some of them worship Nagash, some of them don't. Some of them hate Nagash. Just kind of depends on the covenant.
They are everywhere, though. Just mainly
they are everywhere, because basically, like, the ones who worship Nagash are in Shyish. And the ones that don't worship Nagash are kind of not normally in Shyish.
Yeah, because like Nagash is basically like, oh, hey, you don't worship me, and you like practice some form of death magic.
Get the fuck out.
Yeah, you're gonna die now.
And so like the Flesh Eater courts that worship Nagash are very much like, yes, I am Nagash, and I'm going to use my tools. But the ones that don't worship Nagash, they are just seen as like a plague on the land, just straight up. Like they have no use. They're just there to fuck shit up.
Yep.
And be insane. But what makes the Flesh Eater courts special, because what they are is they're just vampires, and I think they're called Morgants or Morgants. If you've played The Witcher 3, they're basically just ghouls with more sentience, kind of. But
yeah,
they're ghouls, what they are. And we'll touch on what exactly a ghoul is in a little bit, but... pardon me.
You good?
I was dying for a second. It's made up of Morgants and vampires. They're a legion of death, and what makes them special is that they're kind of all insane.
They're actually all insane.
They all have like this like schizophrenic delusion of grandeur that they're like noble knights and kings and peasants and wizards and sorceresses and things like that. But all linked to that good old Arthurian-esque legend. #Bretonia. But
he actually just said hashtag.
I did, 100%.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because we can't do hashtag Malekith.
Yeah, we can't do hashtag Malekith anymore because the last episode ruined that, so we have to find something else. So
yep.
Oh.
I'm trying to find the next niche for us. I'm waiting for Mitchell's approval.
Hashtag Dos Equis.
Hashtag. I'm okay with that.
Dos Equis is great. Can we get a sponsorship?
Wouldn't that be nice?
This episode brought to you by
Raid Shadow Legends.
Mexican Piss.
Excuse me?
Dos Equis.
The most interesting man in the world drinks Dos Equis. Obviously, it's good beer.
I don't think Jay drinks Dos Equis.
I thought that guy
Oh.
died.
Oh.
Hey, I couldn't basically verbally suck Jay's dick last episode, so I gotta make up for that this episode.
No,
Giggity.
this is not Modelo.
Modelo.
But yeah, no. So Flesh Eater
Okay,
Courts.
no, but like I'm gonna say 2 words that are gonna make you cry.
Uh-oh.
Lobo Negro.
What is that?
Oh man, I need to know.
So
about
that's
this.
a beer that you cannot find anymore because this was back. This was a few years back.
Not only was it
And-
my first beer.
So it was Mitchell's first beer, and it's also still his favorite as far as I'm aware.
Yeah.
And this was back when like you had that massive explosion of like small time breweries, and basically you could find like every form of local beer that was ever made in your local specs. And
that's nice.
yeah, so Lobo Negro was brewed
Floresville,
up
I
in
believe.
like Pflugerville or something like that.
Pflugerville or Floors?
Greater Austin area, let's
Yeah.
put it that way. And we could find it at our local specs. And then they got bought out by like Budweiser or some shit. Who fucking
And
knows?
then they basically
And they
they
just
died
went
off.
and disappeared off the face
Is
of the
that
earth.
it?
Lobo Negro Classic. Yeah.
Jay's like ordering a case just to flex on Mitchell.
Yeah, that was some good fucking beer. But no, that was so.
dark
I remember Mitchell and we were celebrating his birthday, so I brought a 6-pack of that over. I think it was when you turned 21, as we were celebrating your 21st birthday.
No, it was
So
halfway between 20 and 21.
It was your 21st birthday. Hashtag I don't want to get sued, Mitchell.
We here at Lorecast Eternals do not support underage drinking.
Maybe my parents were there.
Oh yeah.
I had the written consent. What are you talking about?
But no, and so I brought a 6-pack of that over, and we drank that, and that was delicious.
Yeah, but getting back to Breto.
No, I just want to say that I was like, so about the Flesh Eater, and then Phil just straight cut me off to talk about beer, and we ran with that. So just in case y'all are wondering where our priorities are, we're all alcoholics. Except Jay. I don't know about Jay. Jay might be an alcoholic. But
Nope, not anymore.
Never mind, he's not. So, back to Flesh Eater.
So about beer.
I swear to God.
My blood type used to be vodka.
Hey!
I think
Mine used to be whiskey.
whiskey, yeah, Mitchell's blood type
Yeah,
used to be whiskey.
back during the line cook days, Jay.
Yeah.
I don't know,
No, my teenage years.
it's cool. I occasionally
yeah.
I occasionally get oxygen in my nicotine system, so
Yeah.
you know. As I hit my vape aggressively.
Oh,
Yeah, that was a really loud blow.
Yeah. It was it was specifically
look,
for
it's
the
not
crowd.
good if it's quiet. It's got to be noisy, and it's got to be moist.
What you're saying is technically true, but I just feel like there's some other context behind that.
By the way, back to Flesh Eater.
Jesus Christ.
This is horrible. Okay, moving on.
We had a really short intro. We just had to go into
Oh
it.
my God! So where was I? Yeah, they have this linked delusions of grandeur, and the cool thing is, like, while all of their delusions for every like court and convent, is it convent?
I think it's just called a court.
It's a cold court. Every court has a different type of delusion, but it's all the same thing: noble knights, kings, all that good shit. But it's not always the same. So like different kings, different queens, different knights, different nobles, different castles and shit. But it's always the same like style.
Yeah, but it is very much like the aberrant king or queen who is the ruler of the court. Like, they are the noble royalty ruling over their domain with benevolence, and the members of their court all believe that, like, oh yes, this is our king, yada yada yada, and the peasants serve the kings and nobles. And yeah, when you actually look at it, and like, you aren't skitched the hell out by
You're just sitting
your
there
own.
eating like disgusting rotten man meat and drinking bone marrow and shit.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
like the French.
Okay, what age of the French? Like, if we're talking about like,
Bro, have you ever had French cuisine like recently?
no, but
Dude,
now
they
I'm
eat
kind of
snails.
I mean, yeah, but
That's like basically rotten flesh. Come on, man.
I've never had a snail, so I can't tell you. But
It's-
I'm going to take your word for it.
Snails are just garlic and butter delivery system. That's all it is.
Sounds delicious.
Oh, it's amazing.
Then why are you dogging it?
I feel like you're giving off some mixed signals here, bud.
Nobody said the Flesh Eater courts were wrong.
There's the point I was trying to make. Thank you, Mitchell.
Anywho, moving on. Fuck, this is so out of whack. This is a weird episode. The
No,
anticipation.
it's really not.
The anticipation's been so high now we're all just flustered.
No, this is why we don't anticipate things. We just Philip couldn't get a man on the show.
I didn't even know I was gonna be here.
I just this time around, I gave you like a solid week's heads up.
No. We threw him in the trunk, and Jay just rolled with it. He was like, you know what? My day's been boring. Fuck it. Let's just do this.
Fuck it.
I'm hyped to see where I end up.
We enticed him over with offers of like Pokemon and Jewel cartridges.
Yeah.
I told you what Just named the big Pikachu card you got from me, right?
No.
Because like it's the big Pikachu, but it's old Pikachu and he's kind of fat.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
His name is Thickachu.
Thickachu.
We were really going on every single 2 minutes.
Anywho, so back on topic with Flesh Eater Quartz. Every aspect of their like society and whatnot, it kind of reflects the delusions of grandeur they have. So like you still have there's still like nobles, kings, queens, barons, and whatnot. But then it's followed up with some really jank shit like liver belch or marrow broth, or I think one was just called like Glizzard.
Blister skin.
Are these...
Yeah, like high noble Glizzard blister skin of the liver belch.
These are names / titles given to members of the nobility inside of a court, and they're not all the same, but a lot of times they'll follow this same kind of concept of like, you're a noble, so you get a name, but you're named after like the shit we eat, like liver
belch and rotten man meat stuff.
Yeah, something like that.
It's whack. The names are whack.
The names are super weird.
Yeah, no, it's
their favorite seasoning.
I think my favorite is marrow broth. Marrow broth or marrow boff? I think it's marrow broth. It's my favorite name so far. And I think that's a name / title as well.
Yeah, they're kind of fitting with the fact that they're all fucking insane. It kind of is a little loosey-goosey with the naming schemes.
Yeah, and like I talked about a little while ago, like the religion they have is basically they worship Nagash or they don't. And that's kind of basically how that goes. I'm not sure if the ones who don't worship Nagash have any particular deity that they...
The Carrion King.
Yeah,
the Carrion King.
Worship the Carrion
I thought
King.
He was more of just like their overall leader, not like their god.
I think,
or is he like one of those both things?
Yeah, I think if they don't worship Nagash, they don't necessarily worship the Carrion King, but they take his word as gospel.
They definitely have that. Like, I understand that Sigmar is an actual person who lives and is not dead, but he's also like my god, and I'm going to worship him as if he's been the almighty deity for all of time.
Yeah, I think it's along that line.
Which cat is screaming? Oh, that's Hephaestus. Because
of course, he can't see people. You know that cat's retarded.
I've been talking a lot, so y'all start talking, and I'm going to go grab the cat because I love him, and I'll be right back.
Okay.
Go, Philip.
Oh, is it my time?
Yes.
Oh, Mitchell was not talking this episode. He's made that very clear.
I am talking. This is going to be really small tidbits.
His metaphor from earlier today was, the engine's running, but there's a check engine light on, and we're not sure where it's coming from. But no, so the...
Where do I plug the thing in to find out what's wrong?
Please don't figure it out.
Please don't finger it out. Butt jokes.
Please stop.
He licked me on the nose, and I'm crying now.
Just because it hurt?
No, because it was precious.
More precious than your godson?
Honestly, a little bit.
That kid has a mega...
Wow! I'm going to tell Sean
the
you
last
said that.
time I held that kid, he shit on me.
I'm sorry, Sean, but that kid has a mega mind forehead.
So he's got a 5 head?
Oh, yeah. No, that kid's head is huge.
Listen, that kid's head shrank a centimeter, and it's still like, damn! Like his body, a ramen noodle. His head, cantaloupe.
Head, paper, your
I
mother.
love you, Sean. Please don't be under my bed while I shit talk your freshly birthed son. He's been alive for like not even a week.
Oh, God, it has been less than a week.
like-
Guys, we keep on getting distracted. Get back to the point.
I mean, to be fair, new life, Flesh Eater Quartz, turning old
There's more
life into
food?
new life. No, we're not talking about eating children.
No,
Shut up.
it's not mushy enough. He needs to be dead for at least a month.
Not. Can you just not, please? All right. So, Flesh Eater Quartz. Let's go ahead and talk about how they get started off then. So,
The
Flesh
a
Eater Quartz.
mommy ghoul and a daddy ghoul.
Well, you're not.
Oh man, that has to be like the
Wrong.
Grodius Rule 34.
Bro, please stop.
And now I'm looking it up.
Oh my god.
Oh, please.
All right, Jay, while you are a grown adult and it is your right to do that for yourself, I do not wish to see that, and please don't use my Wi-Fi to do it.
Text, just text bomb him constantly.
Oh God, no.
I want his phone to have like 38 gigabytes of just pure flesh eater orgy.
Look. We've made it very clear that I am, in fact, the degenerate out of the group here. But, like, there are some things even I will say no to.
Ooh, this one's a video.
Oh my god.
Jay, no, please. Don't.
Continue, Philip.
This is the part where I tell all the children listening to turn away. Jay, play the video.
Oh, God, he's actually playing it.
Blister skin.
Oh God!
Oh god! Ah!
Yes.
What? Okay, wait, what
34.
comic is... Oh, it's a Rule 34. Yeah, no.
Sometimes I wish God would take away my ability to see.
Where's that meme I sent you about the tech priest and, like, unsee?
Yep.
He just has, like, an unsee button on the side of his head.
Anywho, going on. So we talked about what they are. We talked about their religion, kind of.
They're
We
they're
want to talk
basically
about
whack of it.
what makes up flesh eater quartz.
Well, we're going to talk about how they're made first.
Yeah, so
An aberrant king is created. And the aberrant king will fuck off into the middle of nowhere, basically, and go find some cannibals.
Who creates the aberrant king?
So, we'll get to that because it's
You're
kind of a whole
about to
cycle.
destroy Christianity. Tread lightly.
Oh my god, you're not wrong.
Oh no!
All right. So, when an aberrant king rises to power, he basically fucks off into the middle of nowhere and goes and finds some cannibals. And not like ghoul cannibals, but just humans.
Yeah, they're normal before
The
they're...
normal prey of an aberrant king are humans who have just fallen on hard times and are forced to eat literally anything to survive, including resorting to cannibalism. But in the mortal realms, whenever you resort to that kind of like debauchery, it starts to corrupt your mind. And you already start tiptoeing into madness.
Now,
an aberrant-
real quick, that being said, with that being said, them being corrupted or whatnot, when they're found and turned by an aberrant king, they're still more or less normal humans. Just keep that in mind. Just think of what a normal-ass human looks like, because that's basically what they are. They're a little cuckoo, but like they're not like weird monstrosities. Or they're not even necessarily bad people. They're just slightly corrupted from eating man meat, and they're very hungry.
I think that makes you a bad person.
No. They can become a bad person because they can get ghoul-like tendencies. Like
I'm not saying that like
because they'd be called the Cryptborn, and this is the whole entire thing. This is like my one
Whoa,
little
whoa.
spiel.
Let's also make very clear that Cryptborn are not officially associated with...
Officially, yes, they're not officially associated, but they're going to be one of the people that the Ghoul King will go
Yeah, they will be
after.
drawn to, yes.
I'm just saying that when they are first turned, don't think that there's some just weird monstrous people or some cult or something. Like a lot of them are just normal people who
have fallen
got
on
pushed
hard
to
times.
this for various reasons.
Or they're Cryptborn, where they were in this cycle for a while to
And
the point
he
they...
is like all on this.
Yeah,
It's the one thing I know about this at the moment.
It's the one rant he's going to get this episode. Let him have it.
All right. I'm waiting for the stroke.
I know.
It already happened.
He had it while he was being quiet, so we didn't notice it.
So the whole entire thing about the Cryptborn is that, well, people, when they do the...
There it is.
There it is. There is my stroke.
Oh man, that was hard too. That was
Yeah.
full stop.
Wow.
Like, bruh, do you need
Glad I'm
some?
wearing my seatbelt.
Do you need some?
No.
Do you need
The
some water?
whiplash.
Yeah, no. Oh god, you talk. My,
It smells
my
like-
stroke is strong.
I'm
It smells
smelling-
like burnt toast.
Okay, no, I'm pretty sure I've made this joke before, but every time I hear the whole burnt toast thing, it makes me think of this joke I saw where it's two sharks. And one shark is like, hey, Jeff, what is that thing we're supposed to smell from like a mile away? It's like, well, Bill, it's blood. And the other shark goes, so it's not toast, right? He's like, no, Bill, it's blood. Other shark, I think I'm having a stroke. Tom, I think I'm having a stroke.
But no, so there is a faction of humans called the Cryptborn. And they practice eating flesh. But they actually prefer rotten flesh, like
straight
truly
up.
rancid flesh.
Yes.
But they are not in of themselves members of the Flesh Eater Corps.
These would be the people that have become corrupted
Yes.
and to the point where they go in straight madness. And yes, they do reproduce as well, just as normal humans.
Yeah,
but
which
they,
is why I said, yeah.
they're able to actually communicate fairly well with the flesh eater quartz as well. Mm-hmm. So
Yeah, they toe this interesting line between just basic normal mortals and Flesh Eater Quartz.
and
I'm going to assume the Flesh Eater Courts probably recruit them a little bit. I'm
It
going to
wouldn't
assume.
surprise me, let's put it that way.
if not recruit, they band together a tad bit because they have the exact same objective.
Right.
Yeah,
Eat
which
meat.
is
Eat meat. Eat
but-
meat that has reached that really good like pudding to not pudding ratio.
But
tasty.
yes, and Cryptborn are absolutely absolutely despised by the normal human.
Yeah.
Actually, just pretty much everybody, because they see it as truly like as an
Abhorrent.
abomination.
To be fair, if I walked up on someone and they were like holding a piece of rotten meat and I'm like, bro, are you gonna fucking eat that? He goes, no, man, it's not rotten enough. I'd probably run the fuck away as well.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
That's not where that story was going in my mind. It's like, bro, are you going to eat that? And it's like, no, here you go. And you just start chowing down. Like,
Oh, dude, fucking, that's a leg too. Let me get on that shit.
Oh god, that's like some. Oh shit, what's the video game? No.
Mouthful of meat. This man didn't skip
What's the
leg
video
game.
game with the cannibals? The Forest, where you can like actually like beat someone to death with a leg.
that's pretty cool. That's a good game.
Oh, it's such a good
Oh, and
game.
the Forest, who's coming out soon, and I can't wait.
Oh man,
Sons of the Forest, I think is what it's called.
I'm not sure.
The Forest is so much better than Horus Heresy 30K.
Wow,
Oh,
just
fuck.
gonna shoot that shot like that, Jay. After we were just talking about how hyped I am for the new
is the part
editions.
where I-
Same here.
Listen,
Wow.
guys, if you're really quiet, you can hear the sound of Philip's soul leaving his body.
Okay, we'll get back to that hot take here in a minute.
just a really quiet.
Quickly make a note of things we need to talk about after Philip's soul leaving the body.
I got it.
Wow,
Okay.
you're just gonna write that down like that. But no, an aberrant king or queen comes upon a community of cannibals. And the aberrant king is basically like, hey, so like I see you're eating meat, but like, would you like to eat meat from my table in a banquet? And the cannibals are like, what? No, we're just trying to survive over here. And then the aberrant king is basically like, yes, but now you share my schizophrenia because you've been around me for too long, and we're gonna eat together.
Yeah, just being near the court, a court of flesh eater courts. Just being around them will actually start to infect you with their delusions. But the big factor with how you before you get thrown like full force into their delusions is, like Phil was saying, you eat meat from their table, and that's when not only do you like full-fledged get dropped into their delusions, you also turn from a human into a, God, is it Morgant or Morgant? Morgant? I think it's Morgant. A ghoul. Basically, that's when you start mutating. You get weird pale skin, sharp fangs, start looking ugly as shit.
More dant.
More dant, yeah.
Yes,
You
I had to look it up.
become stronger faster, but you also look more horrific and whatnot. Once again, just think like stereotypical ghouls, but like a little smarter, I guess.
Hold on, I think Mitchell just rebooted.
Bro, are you running Windows 98? I feel like he's running Windows 98.
No. It's Vista.
Oh, fuck. How is that worse?
Because it's Vista.
I made a connection that like the flesh eater courts in my mind are very similar to tower ethereals.
If anything,
Just being around them, you'd be like, oh, maybe this is a good idea.
It's like, yes, I am a good American who believes in capitalism and the greater good. Fuck, where'd that come from?
Thank you, Jay.
Ah.
The reboot is complete. All right. Actually, if anything,
was
I see
amazing.
flesh eater courts as more akin to Necrons in 40K, because you very much have like the structured court system, because Necrons and their dynasties still operate very much like courts with intrigue and politicking and things like that amongst the more sentient Necrons. And the flesh eater courts are the same way. So once an aberrant king raises the initial members of his court, they'll spread out and they'll start gaining followers. And again, they don't necessarily have to make you dine at the feast of the court in order to turn you into a mordant, because they can basically just infect you with madness just by being around
But
you.
eating the meat is what makes you transform into one.
Yeah, that gives you the physical
I
transformation.
will say what's fucking hilarious is how just some people sitting there being cannibals, living their best lives, and then the flesh eater courts roll up like, hey, do you want that super, super tasty rotten man meat flesh? And I'm like, yeah, that sounds dope. What's it like seasoned with? And the dude's like, my schizophrenia. And they're like, that's some pretty tasty shit.
I mean, it's a magical delusion, so
Yeah.
there's that.
Do we know where the delusions come from yet, or is it just kind of like they have these things and like they're there?
One of the like origin stories, and again, this is one of those things where it's like in the lore, there's a couple different stories, but kind of the big one.
Yeah, I think that there's two.
is-
Are you talking about how the Carrion King became a thing?
Yes.
I know there's two big versions.
Yeah. So kind of the biggest one amongst the Flesh Eater courts specifically is that the Carrion King used to actually be a follower of Nagash back in the Age of Myth.
Yeah.
And he was one of Nagash's like favored disciples. And
Was he a Mortarch?
I think this was pre-Mortarchs.
He wasn't
No,
some.
because Mortarchs were a thing in fantasy.
Oh, I guess they were, weren't they?
Yeah.
Whether he was a Mortarch or not, he was a very favored servant.
Yeah,
Okay.
he was a favored servant of some variety. And then he did some stupid shit, and Nagash was like, get the fuck out. And so the Carrion King left, and Nagash cursed him as he was leaving, and basically cursed him with madness. And so then he fucks off into the wilderness and finds a group of cannibals, and is basically like, you are my family now. And that was the first Carrion court. Or Flesh Eater court of the Carrion King.
Okay.
So Nagash has captured the Carrion King a bunch of times, and he always manages to escape.
Yeah,
Swiggity swoogity.
the big initial release that happened was during the Age of Chaos when Sigmar accidentally released him, and that's when we see this big explosion of Flesh Eater.
Oh yeah, 'cause that's when Sigmar was like, Nagash has stabbed me in the back, so I'm gonna go fuck that man's shit up.
Yeah.
And in the process of fucking his shit up, he let the Carrion King out. And he just
Yeah.
The other story that I like a lot is also kind of in turn as to why the Carrion King is also called the Blood Prince. Is basically don't fuck with Neferata.
Yeah.
The other thing is he betrayed Neferata, also called the Queen of Mysteries. I had to look that one up. Do that betrayal Neferata was like, piss on me. And basically, like, the same thing cursed him and shit, and all that shenanigans happened. But I just like that story because, like, Neferata's terrifying. Like, we all know Nagash is spooky, but also, like,
Neferata's terrifying.
I run Neferata with my Nighthaunt.
Yeah. That was terrifying.
is she good?
Yeah, very.
Nice.
Well, no, she's bad. She's a bad girl, but bad in a good way.
Until I run, 2 Stormprick cards up on her and like almost nuke her turn
was
1.
that the game when you were like, I'm gonna cast magic on your dragons, and then Phil was like, that's a bad idea, and then you were like, oh wait, no, that is a bad idea?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, because we were playing and I think you were trying to smite the dragons, and I was like, okay, just so you're aware, on a 4-up, I just get to ignore that, right? And then I think you were just like, you know what, I'm gonna buff my units instead.
Dragons,
Yeah.
like, you have been denied, and Jay's like, you know what, super zombies, fuck it.
Super.
I think that's exactly what happened, actually.
Didn't you still lose that game?
Oh, horribly. Dude, I lose all of my games. What are you talking about? Winning doesn't happen.
So,
That's the reason why he actually plays yellow, but he just doesn't want to admit it. Or Imperial Fist.
that's fair. Just play Lamenters, and then you always have the moral victory. I've told you this so many times.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It's canonical.
when you get your ass kicked, you're just being lore accurate.
It's what we care about here.
Yeah.
Well, there was a moment when I was first getting into 40K, and I'm like, I like Salamanders. I'm going to play Salamanders. Then I'm also like, man, but like I can play Lamenters, and I'm never actually losing. And then I could just be that huge dickbag who's like, I've lost, but I've really won.
Because I'm playing war accurately to the game.
I have loaded dice that roll all ones. Thank Mitchell for that one. That's trademarked by him.
I think I have that trademarked. Oh,
Not
no, wait,
anymore.
I'm not allowed to say that.
No, Mitchell said it. No, Mitchell said it. You do it.
No, I'm not allowed to say that anymore. After I made like, what was it, eight 5-up awards in a row during that same game.
Right.
Granted, like you had control of like 70% of the board,
Doesn't matter.
but my like final 3 units, Jay just kept running up
Refused
and
to
going
die.
like, "I'm gonna kill you, I'm gonna kill you, I'm gonna kill you," and then like it was like sequiturs. I think my sequiturs were just like, "No."
And then also, all of the random people that just give you shit in the store. Like,
Oh,
here's
yeah.
a binder.
Oh, yeah.
Here's a box of cards. Why? Because it's Philip.
Why the fuck?
That's why.
No, he always comes to my house and tells this shit, and I'm like, man, if my life was more together, I mean, maybe I could be at the shop and get free shit, but like, there's always dumb shit drama going on, so I can never like just fucking go fuck off at the shop for 6 hours.
But you can't be there at the same time as him, otherwise
He'll get the shit,
free-
yeah. But Phil fucking lives there, so
I thought about
Not
giving.
anymore.
I thought about just giving him my all my magic cards, but I was like, no, because he always
gets shit.
It's going to
Give
James.
me your magic cards. Fuck.
Yeah, no, that was actually something that happened one day as we were standing in the shop, around talking.
I always like to explain that we keep on going out of.
Yeah, but this is a really funny anecdote because like we always talk about how shit my dice rolls are, but like here's something that happened in the shop the other day. is we were just standing around talking, and it was me and a few of the other Warhammer players in the shop. And this guy is standing up at the counter talking to you, Jay, and he just kind of turns around and goes, "Hey!" and like just kind of interrupts everything we're doing. We're also like kind of stop and look at him. He's like, "Any of y'all play Magic?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah, I play Magic." And he's like, "Cool. Here's my binder filled with like $200 or $300 worth of cards."
So when this happened, he came to my house and he was like, "Hey, do you want to look at this binder and see if there's any money cards in here?" And I'm sitting there just like, this motherfucking piece of shit.
By the way,
Like fucking.
by the way, Taryn bought that.
I know he
that
did.
thing off me.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Anyway, back on topic. Fuck, I'm so sorry, guys. I wanted to say that there's a quick little tidbit of lore that really goes to show like how strong the Flesh Eater Court's delusions are, and the reason we keep coming back to that is they really are defined by their delusions. I think it was when Mortarch of Ghosty Boys, Night Haunt. Who's the Mortarch of the Night Haunt? Olander. When she was sieging that city, to get the
the Storm Vault to open for the Mortarch of the
Catacross.
Catacross.
Yeah, when she was sieging that city during the Soul Wars to get Catacross's soul to Nagash. So like she and the Night Haunt were kind of like kicking everyone's ass, and the Flesh Eater courts rolled in and started kind of like reverse kicking her ass, specifically because they're like, we are valiant knights and these people need our help and we are going to go protect our people and our peasants and our land. And they rode in and started whooping ass, all because they just thought that like the forces of evil were attacking this beautiful castle of happiness and
they genuinely thought they were the good guys.
Yeah.
Also, while you bring this up of like Flesh Eater Courts fighting Night Haunt, a lot of Flesh Eater Courts, it's more of like a 50-50 split if they go with like, oh, we like Nagash, and there's a lot of them that just go like, Nagash just wants to kill us, so they run them like,
fuck Nagash.
yeah.
Yeah, that's very much one of those things where it's like if you see Flesh Eater Courts helping people that aren't Nagash, it's because they don't worship Nagash.
Yeah.
Because if they worship Nagash, they are 120% sucking his dick.
I think like the real
Sucking his bone.
Bone Daddy got that bone dick. So do you think like while they're sucking it, he's just like, spin the wheel, rattle me bones?
Well, rattling something.
I think the biggest like court or haven for Flesh Eater court. I keep thinking court's the wrong word. That is
It's literally in
just
the name, my
court.
guy.
Yeah, I know. That isn't subservient to Nagash is called High Haven. High Haven.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like that.
I think it's High Haven. They're like that's like the largest court that doesn't fall into Nagash. I just forget what realm they're in.
They're in a realm.
They're in a realm, but yeah, but that just goes to show like there are like of the Flesh Eater courts that don't fall into Nagash. They're not all just small little piddly things. Like there are a couple like really big Flesh Eater courts.
There was a Flesh Eater court that literally was like, "Hey, Mortarch of Grief, would you like to get your shit pushed in?"
Yeah.
No, would be the answer.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
To be fair, I don't think her consent was a part of that planning.
No, not at all. But the Stormcast Eternal's consent wasn't a part of that either. They just kind of showed up and started doing their business.
No, that's fair. So as far as what makes up Flesh Eater courts is, so obviously we talked about the Mordants or Mordants. Mordants, the vampires. They have zombie dragons. They definitely have like Terrorgeists and I think Morgeists.
Not
No,
Morgeists.
Terrorgeists and zombie dragons.
Dragons.
So you know what the difference between a Terrorgeist and the zombie dragon is?
One's a bat.
One's a bat.
Yes, Terrorgeists are so cool.
They're just
Yeah, they're
gigantic bats.
just huge bats.
And they just
scream.
screech at people,
Well,
and then people die.
They're like the zombie version of that said bat creature.
Yeah.
But when they die, they explode into bats too.
Heyo.
Why don't they have the living version of that in the game?
Because they were hunted to extinction.
That's why?
Yeah.
Fuck, that sucks. I really want to see a live Terrorgeist. I feel like they look spooky as shit.
Let's green stuff one up and make it look like a real living one.
I don't got
hell
that
yeah.
skill, Jay.
I'm okay with that. I mean, I suck, so it look like absolute garbage, but I'm down.
That would help.
Yay.
Dude, I'd be down for seeing a
Anywho.
honest to God Terrorgeist. But moving on.
Here's the real reason why we're having this podcast. I know, like,
Is that the entirety of a Flesh Eater court?
it's really not, but we're here to shitpost about Bretonia. So, We'll probably do another Flesh Eater Quartz video where we go deeper in, but like I've just been waiting to shitpost about Bretonia for so long.
We can do both. Like, don't sell yourself short.
I don't think you understand how deep into the rabbit hole I'm about to go.
Okay, well, like, calm down, because this is Flesh Eater Quartz, and I know you love to shitpost on Bretonia, but let's finish up the Flesh Eater Quartz first.
No. So anywho.
Wow. Okay. So Flesh Eater Quartz. So once a court is actually established. And they have all of their different, barons and dukes and monarchs and whatnot all established. Then they fill out their lines with peasants and servants and whatnot. And the way that a member of the Flesh Eater Courts rises in power is by consuming more and more flesh and blood of the aberrant king or queen whom they serve.
Okay, no, do they consume the flesh and the blood, or just the blood?
It's predominantly the blood, but it can also be the flesh.
It's like Demon Slayer.
I'm sorry, what?
No, I think that's actually that's kind of accurate.
No, I think it's more like Christianity, the bread being the
bread being the body.
And,
that's it. Which, okay, so that's actually kind of a funny thing, because whenever this ritual happens of consuming the flesh and the blood of their king or queen, they do actually believe that they are it's not that they're consuming the blood, they believe that they're consuming food directly from the king or queen's table.
But so realistically, he's just shoving his finger in his mouth, and it's like, crunch it, goddammit!
Yeah, kind of. But no, they truly do believe that, because what'll happen is, let's say an aberrant,
there's a lot of crypts in that.
You'll get there, I believe in you.
Let's say a crypt hunter courtier did really well on the battlefield, and the king would like to reward him. So what he'll do is he'll slash his wrist and drain some of his blood into a goblet and give it to the courtier to drink. And then the courtier will consume that, and that will empower him and make him stronger and elevate him up in the court. Now, having said that, it is still a court. So these people's delusions are actually so strong that even though they basically behave like wild fucking animals to everybody else, they are actively scheming, plotting, and devising plans to go higher up in the court.
As if it was an actual political court system and a feudal lord system. Yeah.
Yes, so they will backstab, plot, work together, tear apart agreements and pacts to ascend higher up in ranking the court, because eventually even the most basic servant or peasant in a court can ascend to become their own king, because once you have consumed enough flesh and blood of your king, you can become a king in and of yourself, and then you can leave to go found your own court.
What's really funny about that is, to all of us, it may just seem like one weird rabid ghoul is ripping the spine out of another weird rabid ghoul, but to them it's like, oh no, I'm backstabbing you, E2 Brute, all that dramatized high gothic and stories where it's like, oh yeah, backstabbing political thing, and realistically it's just one ghoul ripping the spine out of another ghoul, but they're like, oh, it's so elegant, and we're like, Jesus Christ, this is fucking horrifying.
I would love the idea.
The delusions are strong.
That in Shaiish, one ghoul has completely hallucinated Game of Thrones.
I mean, it's probably happened.
It's probably, honest to God.
Yeah.
I bet there's Rule 34 for that too.
Oh my God, please stop.
Please
no.
stop.
So one of my favorite little
Every time we
sidebar
say something,
stories.
it gives him power, so I'm just going to stop talking.
One of my favorite sidebar stories out of one of the old army books is there's two ghouls, and they killed an ogre, and they're ripping its guts out and eating everything and just going ham. And then the ghoul king starts to come into range, and the delusion gets stronger as the ghoul king gets closer. And they look up and they're like, why are we fighting over all this treasure? There's plenty to go around. And they look back at the ogre, and it's bags of gold instead of guts and entrails. It's pretty rad.
That's fucking God.
That is 100% accurate.
That is so crazy. Oh yeah, that's cool as shit though. It's really unique. Realistically, when you think about a lot of the factions, oh yeah, Stormcast, big armored boys, and they ride dragons. Oh yeah, High Elves, they're dickbags, and they ride sphinxes, and they do magic. And then there's the rats, and to a certain extent, there's a lot of factions that follow kind of sort of like the cliche fantasy tropes, and then there's just weird mutant zombie vampire ghouls that think they're doing cool shit, and realistically they're just being horrible cannibals.
Oh yeah.
It just kind of seems like there's no real cliched thing for them, and I think it's super neat. Well, they're one of the really original armies of AOS, which I really, really enjoy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're really cool.
They really are.
I wish they had a couple more plastic models, but
I mean, how long has it been since they've been revamped? Like, do you think they probably get some?
it's like 10 years or something.
Yeah, they're probably up
not
there.
a lot of them need revamps. It's just mainly the ghouls, because Terrorgeist and Zombie Dragon still look really good.
No, those are some of the best models that are ever introduced. But like the Vargolf and some of the resin kits.
Yeah.
Don't
what
look too
they
good.
really need is plastic upgrades.
Yeah.
And if y'all don't know, Vargolf is based just a gigantic vampire bat that can't fly. Like, think vampire bat, but then make it the size of like a fucking silverback gorilla.
Yeah, they're basically
or rhino.
In the rankings of the court. Vargals are basically one step down for the Aberrant King. They're some of the most trusted courtiers and members of the court. Oh shit! There was something I wanted to say. What was it? Oh yes, Archregents. That's the one thing I've been forgetting this whole time. So there is actually one level above the Aberrant King, and that is an Archregent. So once an Aberrant King gains enough power, they stop playing in the court, so to speak. They gain enough power that they actually start ruling over multiple courts, because an Aberrant King can find another court and kill their king, and through sheer force of will, bind that court to their own.
Your delusion, now all your delusions gone.
Literally
You now have
Necron-
my delusions.
Yes.
Literally Necron dynasties.
Yes, they do behave a lot like Necrons. And so...
Just some way, shape, or form, a lot more fucked up.
Yes. And so, once a king assumes enough power, he becomes an Archregent. And an Archregent can rule over multiple courts across multiple kingdoms.
At that point, they're below the Carrion King, and that's it, right?
Yeah, they are one step below the Carrion King. And there are actually several Archregents who claim to have been members of the original First Court. Some of them truly are that old, or at least
it
that
would make
delusional.
sense.
Yeah.
Only the really old ones, really powerful ones will be able to be,
Yes.
Archregents.
Absolutely.
So what is the Carrion King doing? He's just like fucking off and like doing his own
Nobody
thing?
ever knows what he's doing.
He- okay.
He's so fucking insane.
But he's not.
Like,
He's not really a player on the board. I don't mean like when I say board, I don't mean the tabletop board. But I mean like in the lore. Like we just don't know much about him. Period. He just fucks off and does his own thing, and that's it.
Like, remember when Homer ate peyote? That's the Carrion King, but all the time.
Whew.
The Simpsons reference.
yes, that was a Simpsons reference, Mitchell.
Okay.
I just find it funny because you have like
come
you have
on.
like the leaders of the factions like Sigmar, Archeon, Teclis, Tyrion,
Malarian.
Fucking god. Nope. I said I'd stop.
Because there's actually a
I
difference.
said that I would stop. Jay, shut the fuck up.
You clearly didn't listen to the last episode.
Well, maybe I like to poke.
He's just trying to get a rise out of me. Hashtag Malachite. Anyhow, but like all of these faction leaders, like in the lore, they're very active. Like Sigmar and Arya, like they fought on the battlefield. They made big changes and whatnot. But it just kind of seems like the Carrion King is just like in the background, just like doing his own thing. You
Dude,
never
the
really
Carrion
see
King
what
is
the
that-
fuck he's
No,
doing.
no. The Carrion King is that one random guy sitting on the street corner clearly smoking crack, but nobody looks at him because nobody actually wants to try and see what he's doing, and everybody just pretends he doesn't exist.
He's never there, just like the Silent King.
He's mastered the art of standing so still that nobody can see him.
You're eating a Zagnut.
These schnozberries taste like schnozberries. Phew. But I think that's more or less it for them.
Philip, are you done?
I don't think they've had any like super big monumental like lore moments. At least not yet.
Not really. And I don't know if they will.
There was that time they fought against the Mortarch of Grief.
Which I think they're used as lore spice.
Yeah.
I feel like they're very Deus Ex Machina, or not Deus Ex
yes, you
Like,
have that right.
No, Machina. Yeah,
if
they're
somebody-
there because the story needs them to be there.
Yeah, and if somebody is like in a very dire situation and they need them not to be dead, Flesh Eater Quartz.
Oh my god! The Flesh Eater Courts are just
Bretonia.
no. Besides that, no, they are AOS's Legion of the Damned.
Don't say that.
They're there when they need to be there for the story, and then they just go blow away with the wind. That's how that works.
I've already lost my Legion of the Damned army. I don't want to lose my Flesh Eater Court army too.
There used to be an army with Legion of the Damned?
Yeah.
Really? I don't know that.
I have a whole chapter sitting in the store.
What happened? Like, did they actually have rules, or did they just?
Yeah, they had rules. They had a full army, like a whole codex.
What happened to it? They just got phased out.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's.
Yeah.
Wow, that sucks.
It sucks like a vacuum.
I really like the Legion of the Damned. They have cool aesthetics, and they have like flames and shit. They're pretty cool. I'm depressed now.
Yeah, me too. Thanks for that.
Jay's over
Well,
here
you've
like
been
I've
depressed
spent.
for a while because
Jay's
of that.
over here looking at his like $1,000 or whatever, however much money of Legion of the Damned, and GW's like, hey, go fuck
you.
yourself. Jay's sitting there trying to hoard what armies he has left. GW, hey, bitch. Jay,
So-
leave me alone.
You've seen my Tyranids before, right? You guys?
Oh god, yes.
With
fuck
the-
it.
I've
the
played
spots
against
and
your
everything.
Tyranids.
So I was
Oh!
looking through the Tyranid book that's coming out soon,
Yeah.
and I stumbled across a picture. And does that look familiar?
No way.
Yeah, these fucking cunts hired somebody to replicate my paint job, only they just kind of bastardized it.
Wow.
But
I'm
it's
sorry, I literally do not see a Tyranid. I just see polka dots.
Where's your paint?
Well, yeah, that's Jay's art
Was,
Yes.
style.
was your paint job like? Was it posted out like in the on the internet, or was it just
yeah,
something?
the Warhammer community. They came to my store and interviewed me about my NIDs and took a bunch of pictures. Yeah, no,
wow.
they straight up sold blue, orange, green dots.
polka dots.
Yep.
Wow.
Can you like?
Just let it be known, we know somebody famous.
Can you like sue them for that?
No.
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 No, it's just a 120%
That's just so
dick move.
fucked up.
Because I
though.
worked for the company at the time, so anything I created
Oh,
was
anything
theirs.
you created was that fucking sucks.
Well, like you've heard what they do to people who want to become sculptors for them, right?
yeah, they're like, you have to give us a sculpt and you get nothing for it. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
no,
they
part
use
of-
the sculpt.
yeah,
Typically, it's a Space Marine
then they
lieutenant.
use the
Yeah.
sculpt. Typically, it's no, at this point, I think it's more like a Space Marine captain in Gravis armor.
So once upon a time, this is a fun story. Once upon a time, I was running an AOS league. It was the very first AOS league because the game had just came out.
Oh, so this was like what?
2015?
AOS is like 5, 6 years old.
It's way older than that.
I thought AOS came out in 2015.
It came out in 2015, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. So 7 years ago. Yeah, that's right. We're in 2022.
Yeah, we are.
Wow,
Jesus
okay.
Christ.
So,
Time flies, Jay.
whew, all right.
The cat being cute.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the cat's being a cat right now.
Cat's
adorable.
being a crackhead at the moment.
So, I came up with these campaign points that you could spend the campaign points throughout the games.
So it was a special thing for that league.
For that league, yep. Campaign points. You could spend a campaign point for like a diary roll. Or you could spend your CP on other things that are very similar to command points.
Really starting to feel like...
So I made this whole campaign up and I sent it off to another person so that he could run this in his store because his store was struggling. He sent it to GW.
So what I'm hearing is that...
Huh.
What I'm hearing is that when I play 40k and some dickbag dumps 38 command points into one squad and fucks my entire army, I
You
can
can blame me.
I can blame Jay for that.
Oh, you mean like that time that we were playing and you one-tapped my fucking knight because
I-
you did that exact same shit?
I never said I
Hey,
wasn't
you
a
said this is for
dickbag.
AOS, so it's just,
Right.
you know,
Right.
when I wound and hit on 2s with Kragnos against your Bastillida with -3 rend.
I need to pull up my meme soundboard now because that was a bra moment.
Would you like to go? Are you? Is that everything?
Okay,
I think that's more or less.
Without going into the exact models, we're more or less done. But basically, all you need to know about the models of Flesh Eater Courts is that basically you start off as baby bitch ghoul, and then you do shit, and then you get beefier. And then you do more shit, and then you get beefier, or
When
sometimes
you- when
you
you-
do shit,
when
and
you-
then they're like, here, have some Terror Geist blood, and then you grow wings, and then you do other
Oh,
things.
okay, that answered my question.
Yes.
And then for some reason you get smaller and become a Ghoul King.
Yep.
And then every now and then you become dinner.
Also true, but that's okay.
You may go into your rant now.
Meat's back on the menu, boys. So in
Can I just say that in Lord of the Rings, when they said that meat's back in the menu, that implies that orcs know what a menu is?
how the fuck do they know what a menu
He
is?
said there's a fucking restaurant in Mordor
That caters to orcs.
specifically.
Yeah, guys, you've never heard of Glimglot's Organ Emporium?
Fucking just before I have to go crump the world of men, I'm gonna go to my local orc coffee shop for a spot of tea or something like that.
Yes. Dick pudding.
The consistency of motor oil and the aftertaste of actual ball sack.
Delicious. Nom 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 nom. Delicioso.
Chef's kiss.
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
Perfect.
So Bretonia.
Yes, let's talk about the French.
Also,
So, the
fuck
flesh-
French.
the
You don't
fle-
have any French listeners. So
The
fuck the
Flesh Eater
French.
Quartz
Oh, well, we have like one.
is
I
Bretonia.
doubt he's actually French, though.
Podcast over.
It's Bretonian, nothing but.
Well, so when Flesh Eater Quartz were first a thing, and they had the whole like delusions and whatnot, and they're like, oh yeah, they're like having delusions of Arthurian legends, so like they must be Bretonia because they're not in AOS. And then a bunch of people like jumped on the bandwagon, and then that was like surface level. That's kind of all it seems like. But then you go a little deeper. In End
Oh,
Times,
please go
Then you
deeper.
start digging.
in End Times, the Black Knight, his name was like Morlian or something like that.
One of those M names that they seem to be so
It
fond
was a
of.
play off Morgoth.
Yeah.
Or not Morgoth, but Morgan. The Black Knight in Arthurian legend, was it Morgan?
Morgan Freeman?
Oh,
He's
Mordred?
black.
Mordred, yes.
Oh.
Yes. Bro,
Okay.
we've been binge watching Merlin for the past like 2 months. You
Okay.
should know this by now.
No, he said Morgan Freeman. I wanted to say something, but I don't know if anyone would get this. I'm just going to say it right now because tangents are kind of our thing. I watch a couple like gaming groups, people who come together and do dumb shit on gaming and whatnot. And there was one group that was playing Prop Hunt, and one of the guys in that group was a voice act. I think it was a voice actor, and they were playing Prop Hunt, and they were like, "Man, one of the hunters should like."
Oh, that's not.
Voice act being Morgan Freeman, but like still being a hunter, and then there was a dead silence, and all you hear is, "I can smell you." So he said Morgan Freeman, and I almost said that, and I was like, "Oh fuck, this needs context." Yeah, I am Morgan Freeman. I can smell you. That's it going on.
If you want to find that video, because I know the name.
You know what I'm talking about?
It's Scene Anners, Morgan Freeman animated.
You know what's funny is on that map in one of the back rooms, it's kind of obscure and hard to find. There is a picture of Morgan Freeman on a calendar that says "I can smell you."
Thank you, Prop Hunt.
That video got so hyped. Anyway, so yeah, it was a name that was a hit off of the Black Knight in Arthurian legend. So this is when this is when like it goes a little deeper, but it also like obviously like the conspiracy theorist gets a little heavier. So this might just be me being insane,
Ow,
but
what the
like
fuck?
We literally just explained how they're not Bretonia because it all started from one guy.
yeah, but like they're Bretonia. So like the name, like the title Marrow Broth, kind of sounds like the name of the Black Knight in End Times. So that's kind of a small one, right? But then there's like the bigger ones. So let's talk about the endless spells. Jay, do you know what the endless spells for the Fletcher Course look like?
Yes, I do.
So the one, let's talk about the first one, the cup, right?
The chalice?
The chalice. What was it that Bretonia had a hard on for?
The Holy Grail?
Their quest for the Grail quests.
The Grail Knights.
Also, like they would get visions of like the Holy Grail. Also, like Bretonia Knights getting visions of the Grail is also kind of like Flesh Eater Quartz having delusions of being, so that's kind of goes hand in hand. But also like the endless spell for, I think it's called like Chalice of Blood. But that endless spell model, it is a fucking chalice, and it has like the blood
I
coming
think
out
it's
of it.
dirty. Do you
It
know
ha-
what that does on the table?
I'm assuming it's horrifying.
Every single time something dies, you put like a tick on it, and at the end of the turn, anything that's wholly within 12 inches, you roll that many dice that are equal to ticks. By the way, equals a lot when you're playing a horde army.
Is it by model or by unit?
By model?
Is it? It's when friendly units die or when enemy units die?
When any model dies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that it was a wholly within 12 inches. You roll that many dice, and on 4-ups, you get to bring that many models back in a unit.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I sat there.
That is disgusting.
I was playing against a Flight Shooter Quartz, and I got it. No, this was Ben in College Station. I got it down to 4, but a whole lot of my dryads died that turn, and a whole lot of his ghouls died, and he brought it back up to 30.
Jesus!
And I was like, oh my gosh! And then he sat there and then whacked me with 250 hits.
Oh, God.
Do you know what energy that reminds me of? When me and you were playing the game of 40k, my Salamanders versus your Necrons. This was like 3 months ago, and you had your 20-man squad of fucking Necron warriors. So I walked up with like 6-man squad of aggressors, pumped like 3 command points into it, so I could get my maximum like 108 hits and all that shit. And I burnt down his fucking Necron squad to 1 fucking unit, and he was like, "Hey buddy, resurrection protocols." And I'm like, "Okay, cool, whatever." And then he rolled it and brought back 11 fucking models, and I was like, I spent so many command points.
Oh, they renamed it.
And it was fucking pointless.
It's the Chalice of Ursharan.
Chalice of Ursharan. So obviously,
Used to be Chalice of Blood.
that's a chalice,
Yeah.
and it looks like a Grail.
Yeah.
Grail Knights, you know, so that kind of
Yeah.
goes hand in hand, right?
Yeah.
So now let's talk about their second one,
The
which
horses?
is the horses. You notice the horses are in an arrow formation. And if you remember, Bretonian knights, they had their whole like
Spearhead.
one in front, then 2, then 3, then 4. You know,
Yeah, spearhead
and the spearhead formation, and that's how they did all of their knights and whatnot. And it's just kind of funny that like that particular model is displayed with its horses, and they're in that same formation and whatnot. Like that's kind of sus. Just fucking saying. Their third spell, what's it called?
The Cadaverous Barricade.
Yeah, so this one's a stretch. This one's a stretch, but I'm just saying. The barricade has fleur-de-lises on it, and obviously Bretonia's thing was the fleur-de-lis.
Yes.
Also, the way that like the broken fence thing's looking like, how they poke out, they kind of look like those wooden sticks that were in front of Bretonian bowmen back on their original models. Like those models they had little like wooden.
Yeah, the little barricades.
Yeah, they kind of look similar. That one's a bit of a stretch for me. That's more like it has fleur-de-lis, and I'm like, that's a very interesting design choice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Considering that like they have delusions of grandeur, but realistically, like to have that very specific
Delusion.
yeah, like it's kind of sus. And the other one, I think this is a unit. Or it's a spell, I forget, but it's a throne, right?
The Carnal Throne. It's a piece of terrain.
Yeah.
Carnal throne. So, if you look at it, it's a throne, right? Can't really do much. But I think if you look behind it, under it, there's like battle standards on it. Like under it. Like Bretonian battle standards, or look very similar to it. But they have the ornate design and whatnot. And there's like no reason to put that there because it's not really in a place you can see it.
Huh.
But they're there. But they're fucking there. I'm just pointing. I'm just pointing that
Jay's
one
got it pulled
out.
up right now.
Oh, I'm looking at the picture. Trying to find it. There's gruesome standards.
Let me see if I can find it.
How far down this list are we?
We've been this is just shit that I wrote for myself. We've covered the majority of it because a lot of this was shit about like actual Flesh Eater Courts because like the Bretonia shit is just me shit posting, so I wasn't gonna waste note space for it.
Oh, okay.
Because realistically, this is just us. This is the part of the episode where like any actual information you wanted is gone, and now we're just being dumb fucks.
Yeah. Like, all of our information is somewhere stuck in between multiple
Yeah.
tangents.
And I mean, there's also
I do feel. Oh, sorry.
there's also the abilities that the Ghoul Kings have, like summon men at arms, which summons ghouls, but they're men at arms.
They're men at arms. It's like,
It's literally a Bretonium unit.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what the ability is called: summon men at arms.
It's like this is starting to look really fucking oh, here, this should show it. For the throne. Do 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 do
Or not.
do. Here it is. Boop, right there.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's very Bretonian.
And that is on the throne. I think it's like somewhere on the back of the chair itself. So it's just kind of like that's looking pretty sus there, G-dubs. I'm just putting that one out there. I'm looking up the name right now because I
just want them to
forgot.
openly come out and say it.
There's no fucking reason not to. Like, come on, man. They've basically brought every single faction from fantasy over to AOS in some way, shape, or form.
I am not accepting Osiark Bone Reapers as Tomb Kings.
Is that what it's supposed to be? That's what it's hinting at?
No, but
they're
that's
just the straight up replacement.
That's the
Straight
straight
up.
replacement.
I mean, the OCRs they look cool.
I cry, and I know Jay cries more.
In case y'all wanted a visual representation, so this is what the defensive barrier looks like for the Flesh Eater Quartz,
Oh yeah.
and this is what the
Oh yeah. I can
stakes.
kind of.
yeah. You know what got me fucked up is when I see those, I want to call them punji sticks. I know that's not what they are because that's a Vietnamese bamboo pitfall trap.
Yes.
But I can never think of the name because I just wooden barricades. So I'm like punji sticks, and I'm like that's not fucking right at all.
Yeah. I forget.
That's the chalice.
Yeah, they have an actual name for that. I forget what it's called.
I thought it was just barricade.
No, those. Oh no, I'm thinking of Palisade. No, that's something else entirely. Never mind. I'm just crazy.
Malabod.
So adorable.
Yeah. Okay. I think so. This is back to the Black Knight name and Marrow Broth being kind of similar.
Yeah.
The Black Knight's name, I think that's pronounced Malabod, Mallobaude. Malabode. Marrow Broth kind of sounds similar. That's a pretty far stretch, but it's there and it's a thing that exists. So you know.
I mean, if you say it with a Japanese accent.
Yeah, I got
close.
it. Yeah,
that's the.
I'll give you that one. I'll give you that. I could be that.
Oh, that's amazing. And this is not something that I know particularly well, but if I remember correctly, I think that like the quest for the Grail back in fantasy was like not really a thing, right? Like it all ended up being for nothing, or there was no Grail or something like that.
Hell, the lady was an elf.
Yeah, but the whole concept of a Grail quest back in fantasy turned out like one. I think it was. I don't know if it was in End Times they figured it out, but if I remember correctly, I think like the actual quest for the Grail, like there was no Grail. Like the quest was nothing. I forget why they were getting the visions, but like it was never anything.
It's only a model.
Like it was false, which also kind of goes in the fact that like Flesh Eater Quartz, their delusions are false. The quest for the Grail was false. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
That's kind of a parallel right there.
Mm-hmm. Of course, the other option is, and just to play devil's advocate, the other option is that whenever Nagash cursed the Carrion King, he cursed him with the same kind. He cursed him with the delusions that the Bretonians would have about the Grail, and that might be how it's getting interwoven into it. Because Nagash would remember the Bretonians and remember their Grail quests.
He'd be like, you know, I haven't seen these guys.
The Flesh Eater Quartz
Here
is
we
just
go.
Nagash shit posting.
Yeah.
Oh, also something else that I forgot is the Black Knight
Whatever.
But he was a servant of the undead. Like he wasn't undead himself, but he was like sworn to like the undead. And considering Flesh Eater Quartz, Nagash, they're undead and whatnot, it wouldn't be like out of the realm of possibility that Nagash could like, maybe not Nagash, but someone with the power to like raise the dead, and then
could somehow survive the end times.
Yeah, something like that. But I'm not gonna lie, that is pretty conspiracy theories. Like that a lot of that stuff is kind of
That's
reaching.
what we do here.
I'm just saying, like there are some parallels, and it is a little sus. Just saying, putting that out there. But I think it'd be super cool if they just came out and said it, because then like, could you imagine the models they could make if they're like, yeah, fuck it, the Flesh Eater Quartz of Bretonia.
I was just thinking, should I turn my Bretonia army into Flesh Eater Quartz at this point?
Like just kit bash the whole thing. Mm-hmm. Oh my god, could you imagine a Flesh Eater Quartz-ified Lewin Leon Kerr?
Oh,
Bruh, on his fucking horse. Is he on a horse in this model? I'm assuming he is. Mm-hmm. That'd be dope as shit.
No, I'm not gonna look it up.
That would be really fucking cool. But yeah, so
I know, it's a really short time, isn't it?
Let's talk about the models.
yeah, I'm down.
So,
Let's do it.
Super easy army to paint. Very good intro army for anybody who's starting off in the hobby.
Dry brush.
Yeah, contrast paint, dry brush.
Just find just rotten flesh color and start slathering, or just find like really pale ass ghoul color and start slathering.
Yep.
Yep.
Blood for the blood god, all over the place, and you're pretty much done.
Yeah, their color scheme's pretty consistent.
Pretty much. There's a couple of oddballs like the ones with the wings that everybody uses to make grotesques.
Yeah,
I'm of no help here
marbles.
because I know almost none of the models for Flesh Eater Quartz, so like I'm sorry, but I'm gonna be fucking useless here.
The Crypt Haunt Courtier and the Crypt Infernal Courtier, they are very pale white typically.
Yeah.
But you can paint them however you want. I mean,
Yeah, that's one of the really cool things about AOS that I really liked is in all of their battle tomes, they give you not only the paint schemes for like the poster child court or stormhost or what have you, but they show you how to paint those, and then they also show you how to paint a bunch of other different variations of it.
right.
And the only issue with that is that they only have Citadel paints. But if you know how to paint with Citadel paints, you can paint with anything.
So
Yeah,
fun stuff about the heavy metal team, heavy metal team for Games Workshop.
Orc.
They
The boys.
they don't use exclusively Citadel.
Huh.
You think that'd be contracted obligation? A contract obligation?
I think
No,
they're
there's-
contractually obligated to put out the best artwork they can.
Yeah.
That's
fair.
it. Yep.
Yeah.
So they'll use Vallejo, they'll use whatever they get their hands on, which is really disappointing for any novice hobbyist that aspires to paint to that level. You will always be limited if you think that they only use Citadel.
Yeah. Not to mention the fact that they almost shoot you in the foot by doing that, because then they list all those paints on the back.
And
of
they're
the
not even
boxes.
fucking close.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, no.
There's,
That's, I
there's,
remember
there's a
that's,
lot of glazing that goes on that you just don't know about. It's like base, layer, highlight. That's all they give you, and it will never look like that.
Yeah,
Why
and
not
that
some-
was, I remember that was the thing that like really fucking pissed me off whenever I first got started. Because whenever I first got started, I started out with AdMech. AdMech can be, if you're going for more details, they can be a very tricky army to paint because they have a lot of different colors, and they have
bits and whatnot.
yeah, over a lot of different bits. And that was one of the things that really killed me on painting very early on, is because I remember I was painting up a Skitarii, and it was like the first model I had ever painted. And I was trying to do, and I was painting up Mars, and I was following the instructions on the back of the box. And I painted up this beautiful model that I spent like 20 plus hours working on for a single Skitarii model. Mm-hmm. And I am
like,
still
man, I
proud
know
as
that.
shit of that model.
a good
But I
looking
remember
model.
sitting him down, looking at the box and going, but I followed the instructions on the box. Why does it not look like that?
Yeah.
Well, here was my issue with like the box instructions, and I'm going to talk about 40K here because that's the only.
I mean,
arm
well,
that-
when
technically-
painting it applies to both. So.
This is our rant section.
Well, yeah,
The,
so
the episode is officially over.
Here's the issue. Here's the issue. So I have salamanders, right? It's just fucking forest green. It's not fucking rocket science. You look on the
Can
back.
you hand me my Sons of Medusa?
You look on the back of the
episode?
box, if you're trying to paint salamanders, or if you look at your codex and it tells you how to paint salamanders, it's like 19 different fucking paints. And like I am by
Top shelf.
I am by no way, shape, or means a painting expert. Like I when it comes to the not playing part of this hobby, I prefer to build. I'm not a painter. I don't really derive joy from painting, so like me painting's a very rare thing. That being said, I'm not a fucking idiot. So like when I'm painting, I'm sitting here, I'm seeing all these, like I swear to God, it's like 9 different colors, and I'm like, bruh, base it in black. I either, if I wanted a little
Can you
darker,
grab me one as well?
if I wanted it a little
The other
darker,
one as well.
I'd base it in black. If I wanted it a little lighter, I'd base it in fucking
Corax White.
not Cork's white. What was the one that I got? That's for the rattle can that I got from here. It's that tannish color.
Oh,
Xandri dust?
Not Xander Dust.
Wraithbone.
Wraithbone, yeah. So if I want a little lighter, I do Wraithbone. If I want a little darker, I do black. But then it's like I would do one base layer of Wog Flesh and then one base layer of like, I think it was Warpstone Glow. And I swear to God, the green looked just like the box green. I'm like, wow, that was like 2 fucking colors, the box. You need to have 3 different layers, 19 highlights, 4 contrast, a fucking blowgun, the nuclear launch codes for America's nuclear launcher, your parents' fucking social security card. It's like, what the fuck is all of these instructions? There's 9 paints for a color that I did in 2, and I suck at painting.
Yeah. One big thing is I wish that Games Workshop would also show different styles of painting.
As opposed to one edge highlighted
Yeah.
turd looking thing.
Well,
Because
also-
I got the Son of Medusa right here, and this is all like dry brushed, pretty much, and it looks really nice.
It's party.
It's very pretty, but it's not edge highlighted.
Right.
Well, here's my issues, and another issue that I have with how like GW approaches painting their models, and I think this could be really confusing for people who are new to the hobby, is a lot of times when they're like, yes, this is the color, it'll be like, cool, the base, the layer, that the highlight, right? But it'll just say that. It won't really say how to do it. So I know when I was first getting into it, I was like, okay, so these are paint names, but like, how the fuck do I paint them? Do I paint them in that exact order? Do I do one coat of one so it's not so that color doesn't bleed through so much? How much do I thin it? There is, and I'm not saying they have to go that in depth, but there is literally no instruction. It's literally like, cool, white, black, yellow, light yellow, red, black, green, and that's all they say. And it's like, cool, this is like super fucking confusing. There's no direction here, and they just expect you to go onto YouTube or their website or something and look at the tutorial, but like, A, not everyone intrinsically goes to YouTube or Google for help, or B, what if you like don't have good internet or something like that? You have to sit there and like fuck your model up until you might eventually get the color scheme right.
My big thing is that
Bullshit.
Up until the Indominus box release, because I did go to YouTube a couple times, because like I said,
Well, you fucking have to.
When I started off painting my Space Marines, I did Imperial Fists. Games Workshop, I have come to the conclusion, fucking hates Imperial Fists. And the reason I think that conclusion is because, well, no, the reason I think that is because if you go onto their official, like, painting tutorials...
Is it garbage?
There are, like, 2. I swear. 2.
Oh, please tell me they're
painting tutorials. No, and they're from
how to paint the bolt gun black.
Yeah, basically.
And how to do green islands.
Yellow exists or something like that.
Yeah. No, and the really shitty thing about it...
It's a 13-second tutorial that just says Imperial Fists are yellow and video.
Basically. Because if you go on... And here's the really funny thing. So I remember earlier, before we started, we were talking about the Fafnir Iran model that I bought. Because I fucking love that model. So
have you seen the Fafnir Iran model?
Mm-hmm.
I like how he's Imperial Fist, but he has, like, World Eater energy, because Imperial Fist, we are the bulwark, we are the line, we do the bolt gun shenanigans, this full bearded Space Marine, which, like, never happens, full glorious bearded Space Marine, like, fuck guns, dual axes, though. And it's like, oh, yes, I like this energy.
Oh, yeah.
Convert him into Karn.
Oh, hell yeah. That'd be dope as shit.
In my headcanon, Karn has a beautiful beard.
Oh, yeah. But no, if you go on to the official Warhammer TV YouTube channel and look up the new guy who does all their new painting tutorials.
Yeah, he's a douche. I know him.
Oh, really?
Wait, like personally?
Yeah, I know him personally.
Is he a dick?
Yeah, he's a dick.
Are we allowed to say he's a dick without GW sending like hit squads to our houses?
I'm about to move it.
So I'm fucked.
We are not in Bastrop,
What
Texas.
are you gonna do? Fire me again?
We
Come at me, bros.
We are in Guatemala. This is where the podcast is.
But no,
we need to get a VPN that's stationed in like fucking the Arctic or something.
No, China.
They can't fire me twice. I'm not fucking scared.
Oh yeah, no. But no, so like this guy, I swear to God, he starts painting up this model. He's like, I prime in like whatever their dark gray rattle can is, and I'm like, okay, makes sense.
Mechanic is standard gray.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, so primes it up, and I'm like, okay, cool. Not the one I would have picked, but you know that's fair. And
he's a professional. He should know what he's doing,
yeah.
right?
And so like he starts painting it up, right? And I'm looking at this, and I'm like, bro, that model's not yellow. That's fucking orange.
Here's my thing about GW hating Imperial Fists as well. Imperial Fists are yellow, right? That's like their shtick. That's their color. They're fucking yellow, right? Mm-hmm. But when you paint them yellow, like how you're supposed to paint them, or how they tell you to, it is like the most fucking obnoxious color of yellow.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, just think a banana, but it's sentient, and it's fucking skull fucking you. That's what the yellow looks like. It's bright in the dark. I like, like if you put it in the sun, it would be like a weaponized laser of light. It reflects light so bad. It is like the most unattractive version of yellow I've ever seen in my fucking life. But Imperial Fists that I've seen that look really, really good, like Philip said, are fucking orange.
So, GW, everybody says that painting yellow is really hard. It doesn't have to be. GW makes it hard on purpose for some reason. I don't know why.
Because they want you to fuck up bomber paint or something like that, probably.
Something like that. They used to have a rattle can of fucking Averland Sunset. It was amazing.
We just that's it basically.
Yeah,
I feel so fucking cheated.
dude.
Is Averland yellow not the? Is that the yellow you're supposed to use for
That's
them?
your base coat.
That's your basic.
That's what
then
you're supposed to use. I just
Then
don't
you do
care
Uriel?
for it because it's
Yeah.
kind of a pain in the ass to work with
And then
if you
Screaming
don't
Skull.
if you don't use good layers over.
But I'm assuming if you could just rattle can that shit,
It's
Yeah.
perfect.
it'd be a whole different fucking story.
Dude, I painted up an entire Imperial Fist like 1,000 points in 2 days. That's how good it
Well, yeah,
was.
because I'm assuming you just and then you're like, cool, detail the eyes and shit, do the highlight, do the edging,
shade,
and you're done.
Fucking dry brush, do the lenses, paint your bolt gun.
Yeah, so the best color I've found, actually I might have it.
Why?
It's like a Vallejo.
I don't need to cut you
for like
off.
2 minutes while I go find this.
Why the fuck did they discontinue that? Like,
Because they're fucking idiots. Why have they never made a purple spray?
I hear the Army Painter one is pretty good.
Yeah, alien purple.
you'd
Yeah.
think, cause I know that they advertise contrast as being like the way to go for speed painting, but you think if they actually cared about someone who like has no time on their hands and they just want to speed paint their shit, is they just make a rattle can for like every color you could need.
Oh, look at this.
So yeah, so I just grabbed a rattle can for those who can't see. But that's there we
Yes, that's the sound of my people.
go. But no, so that's Vallejo spray paint. And I fucking love that shit. It is like the exact shade of yellow that I want.
Just in case you didn't hear that, this is a rattle can of Vallejo yellow.
Yeah.
Vallejo, they don't have a name on it.
Yeah, no, I had to go up to King's Hobby
Real quick,
up in North
real
Austin to
quick,
go grab
just to
that.
stay centered on AOS, what AOS army could use this yellow rattle can?
Bretonia. Oh, shit.
Honestly, you probably could use that as a base coat for some kind of weird flesh eater quartz. If you
do
were
they-
going
do
for
it-
like a really sickly yellow undercoat.
And then do Gilman Flesh as a wash or a contrast. on
Yeah,
it?
that'd probably look pretty good.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Do you think possibly you could use it as like a base coat for like Stormcast and then just tone it down?
I mean, realistically, it's yellow. You can use it for damn near anything,
That's
as
fair.
long as you want yellow in your
I'm
color.
trying to think of like AOS yellow armies though.
Well, don't some of the some of the Realm Lords have some yellow shit?
Yes, you could do a yellow armor for the Realm Lords, but I would imagine more for Cities of Sigmar, like their actual old Empire units.
Or here's
Mitchell,
another
do
one.
you know? Mitchell, do you know what this yellow screams for me? Daughters of Cain.
Get out. This isn't even my house.
Get the
No,
fuck
you're right. It's my house. Get the fuck out.
out of timeout.
Wait a minute, I also am part of this house. Get out!
But no,
I'm not part of this house.
the
Get out!
record-
Oh wait, fuck.
For the record, we're talking about Guatemala.
Yeah, of course. But no,
No,
honestly,
I thought it was China.
Don't send the legal team, whatever.
Guadalajara, China. There we go. China Lamada. China Lamada.
so actually, you could probably use this for gobos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Oh,
just-
orcs. Yeah.
Yeah, and just throw a blue glaze over it.
Yeah, exactly. And so you get like some really interesting green tints to like brighter green, and you can, especially for like Cruel Boys, because I know the way Mitchell always plays his Cruel Boys is with like is like really leaning heavily onto that like poison and whatnot. So like if you're really trying to lean into the poison, maybe having a yellow base wouldn't be a bad idea.
Here's the problem, though. The majority of orcs and goblins are clothed.
Yeah.
Hobgrots.
Yes.
There you go.
Hobgrots. It'd be perfect
Hobgrots
for them.
are nice and yellow.
Or if you're Sam, paint all your
Oh,
orcs yellow.
okay. You
Yeah.
couldn't really use a rattle can for it, but you could do some badass looking war paint on Seraphon with the yellow. Cause
Yeah.
a lot of them will have like the war paint down their scales and shit.
Well, there's
you know?
yellow lizards.
Well, yeah, no, but I know like a lot of times like they'll just have cool like kind of war paint on them and whatnot. But
Yeah.
but
Or if
I
you're
know
like trying
Seraphon
to do
tend to be
the underbelly.
yeah, but Seraphon tend to be a very colorful faction, so that could be good paint for that. I don't know if a rattle can be good for it, but that yellow could be good for it.
Yeah.
So, some rad hobby news for Bastrop Games and Hobbies. We are now a proud
Which we're
vendor
not a part of
of...
because we're in China Lamada.
Right.
We're not in Bastrop.
We're not in Bastrop, Texas, 78602.
Fuck, why do you do this to me?
Represent
Chestnut Street.
Chestnut
Right.
Street.
Shut up.
Right by the Buckies.
Fucking,
The gate code is
we're getting Green Stuff World in.
Hey!
Wait, green stuff what?
World?
Green stuff world?
greenstuffworld.com. You should look it up sometime.
It's basically
Really
all
good
of your
stuff.
green stuff wet dreams.
Wow.
And since
And
we're
other
technically...
And chameleon paints and metallic shift paints.
I'm
so
not
beautiful.
paint savvy. Chameleon paints. Explain these to me.
They color shift.
Really? Like
Yeah.
exposed to heat or light or?
Yeah, just
No, yeah, you just tilt them.
Oh, it's like that holographic shit where you.
Yeah,
oh, wow, that's super cool.
Yeah,
I should attempt to get Pro Acryl.
What's that?
Bro, you're about to move. You'd still drive out here for it. Who am I kidding? Yes, please continue.
I actually have every single paint for that line.
It's a super
It's
spicy.
actually what I use to
It's a
paint
super
both,
spicy paint.
Paint both of these. This is 2 coats. Of and it was all green, and so like the white on the helmet is 2 coats, and it's a very smooth, and I barely watered down that
Nice.
like gray.
Yeah, that's what you said. Is Pro Acryl is very naturally thin, so you don't have to do a whole lot of tinkering with it to get it to.
It's thin, but it's very opaque.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't have to do a lot of tinkering to get that nice 2 thin coats shenanigans.
Yeah.
Where were we? We were shitting on GW, right? I think.
Yeah.
You'd be.
There are other paint brands.
I
out there.
don't
Yeah,
know
I'm not
how
sure.
much of the podcast you've watched, Jay, but we shit on GW a lot.
We love the game.
We love
It's a
the
terrible
game.
company.
Yeah, it
I
really
feel like
is.
the company used to not be bad though.
They've definitely shifted. There was a dark times in the company for North America. I'm not going to throw names at the old head of North American sales because she is an actual demon.
Was she summoned?
But
Beetlejuice.
people feared for their jobs when she would just walk through and visit.
That bad?
It was like
Okay, was it
she
okay?
would fire on the
Was
spot.
it like she was super critical, or it's like you're breathing my air wrong, you're fired?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
How the fuck does someone like that get? You know what? Fuck it.
And
Whatever.
then
she
she
knows how
got
to suck
replaced
dick.
by
Company
the
corruption or
biggest
something.
two-faced snake I've ever met in my entire life.
Oh, so you got one dick
And
bag
I was
for
in the
another
army.
dick bag?
Yeah.
Holy shit! Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's just the worst. And it's like, well, people don't get fired randomly. They just get fired for dumb shit now.
It's like,
Okay.
oh, you're not.
At that point,
you've
it's
got
like-
this. You've got this one model positioned slightly over into this
Get
other
fired.
section, so clearly you're not doing correct inventory management. You're
God,
fired. Like that kind of shit.
At that point, it's like fuck. Lesser. Which one's the lesser of the two evils, right?
I know. Yeah, it's terrible.
Are you saying that like that kind of led to where we're at now, or is that just like?
Yeah, probably. But here's the problem: the stocks keep rising. So no matter.
They've been going down.
I thought the stocks have been going down.
Oh,
recently.
have they been going down?
Yeah, over the last 6 months,
No,
they have been
I'm pretty
crashing.
sure what happened.
Good, fuck 'em.
So I don't know if this is like verbatim what happened, but so they had their whole new IP thing where like, cool, if you're like making animated videos, you can suck our dick, and that's basically what
Right.
happened. So then a bunch of channels started getting shafted real hard, and then Alpha Busa got shut down.
Yeah,
and
they
they're the-
voluntarily shut down.
So Alpha Busa, I don't know if you've
That's the
seen him.
5-year.
Oh wow.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know if you've seen anything about Alpha Busa, but he makes this skit thing called "If the Emperor Had a Text to Speech."
Yeah, I've met his mother. That's not. I'm being serious. I've met his mother. She's a very polite, well-spoken lady.
Like Alpha Busa's mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're from New
I
Zealand.
don't know if he's fucking with me or not.
I'm-
No,
no,
he's
that's serious.
told me this story.
No shit.
Yeah,
Oh,
she's
it's
a
super
really
dope.
nice lady. She
Okay,
she
well-
bought him a ton of shit.
So he
I imagine so.
he voluntarily shut his channel down. He was like, I am not gonna take the chance with their IP to come attack me and shut my shit down. I'm stopping now while I still have a channel. If you're part of my Patreon just for this, you know, you can opt out. I'll give you a refund. I'm so sorry that I'm doing this, but like with what the word he said was with their draconian IP laws or their draconian IP, whatever the fuck, I'm just not gonna do it. And even if they change it, I still might not come back for a while because this shit has been so fucking unnecessary that it has completely killed my want to be a part of this. So he stopped, and like the entire community was like, now we fucking riot.
That was actually the start of the downfall of the stocks.
Yeah, I think that's what
I think it was 2 months later you started to see this.
Well, because
tank.
people were pissed, right? First, people were angry because first Astartes went, then Sodaz and a bunch of other channels went, and people were getting angry. But like Alpha Busa had like. He makes like $17,000 a month on his Patreon. Like, he is well loved. And his videos get millions of views, and that happened. And, like, people were fucking furious. Like, the fucking, like the Grimdank Reddit, subreddit. Like, they're like, yeah, no, we're shutting down for like a week because, like...
No, they didn't shut down. They went to Battletech Grimdark.
Well, no. When it first happened, they shut down. They said we are shutting down the subreddit for like a week because like people being here and doing memes about GW and about Warhammer and about AOS and whatnot promotes their IP, and we will not have a fucking part of this.
Yeah, they
because
shut
they're
down
fucking
for a week,
evil.
and then for a solid month
They
after
were in
that, they
Battletech.
did nothing but Battletech.
Yeah. And that was the downfall, because that's when people, like, the anger got explosive, and that's when it spread to, like, every echelon, and then Warhammer Plus came out, and the animation sucked.
And there's like all of like 6 episodes of shitty shows on
Yeah,
there.
they have like 4 shows, and it was 4 shows. There's like 6 episodes combined. And that's literally fucking it. I watched. I think it's Hammer and Bolter. I watched a pirated clip of it on YouTube, because there's one dude who uploads it for like 3 days. They get shut down, and they just keep re-uploading on different accounts.
Yeah.
But it was a tech priest who had like turned on a the walkers. The walkers have the gun over their shoulder. Castellan. She had turned a Castellan on, and this Castellan was like fighting off a bunch of orcs while she was doing tech priest shit, right? And there was one clip where this Castellan had an orc in its hand, and it crushed it, right? And it's like, his head popped off and shit because he crushed it. But I swear to God, when he crushed this orc and his head and arms came off, it looked like Legos. Like when you throw a leg on there and the arm just go, and they pop off. That's what it looked like. And then blood like flew out of its chest. But if you crush something, there's gonna be blood splatter and leaking everywhere, right? But no, it was like a little like quick spurt of blood that came out of like where the head was, and I swear to God, it looked like a half of an M. Like it looked like this part of the M, and it was straight black lines that curved down like a toddler.
Yeah.
Like if you give me a pen, it's like someone went nerd, and then went on Microsoft Paint and clicked in it and made it red. That's what that blood spurt looked like, and I'm like, I have to pay for this.
Yeah.
I can go download.
But you get exclusive models.
I can go fucking download the shittiest fucking like animation program that I can bootleg off the internet and make that, and that's the quality that I just fucking got.
So check this out. I have to get up early and call them tomorrow because I found 11 orders that are over a month that have not shipped.
What the fuck?
This is reminding me of my fucking Terminator episode. With the fucking...
Yep.
Dude, what the fuck? What is it? Is it like really obscure shit that's been out of stock, or is it like Tat Marines?
It runs the gamut.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's even worse.
Yeah, it's got very.
Is there
basic
like a
stuff
reason for it, or is it just like fuck?
That's why I need to call them.
What the shit?
Yeah. Well,
And,
no.
and when I call them tomorrow, I'm gonna go. Yeah, hi. They'll be like, hey, this is customer service. Da, da, da. I'm gonna be. Let me talk to your manager.
Just straight up.
I'm gonna go full Karen.
Well, because that's not fucking acceptable. Because like
Carrion King?
Karen Young Kings.
Oh man, I'm seeing a parallel here.
Awesome.
Flesh Eater Courts aren't Bretonia. They're a bunch of really bitchy age 40 single moms.
With very stylish haircuts.
With very obscure makeup artists.
But yeah, it's unacceptable, and it makes me look like the asshole at the shop.
Because you're the one who's like, yeah, your order will be here in 2 to 3 weeks, and here it is, and there it has a week past the latest part of that due date.
Their website says
Soul Terminators.
Their website says delivery within 6 days. That's their website.
That's a fucking lie.
Well, that's like I remember. I think it was Charles. Yeah, it was Charles when he was building his IG list, and he ordered. I forget what he said he ordered, but I remember one of them was from GW, and one of them was the Forge World, the Malkador flame tank.
Right.
He ordered both of them at about the same time. His Malkador flame tank from Forge World came in
London,
4
right?
days.
Yeah.
COVID is no longer an excuse.
Yeah,
It hasn't been an excuse.
COVID hasn't been a fucking excuse for a year, basically.
But yeah, it came in like 4 days, and then whatever it was, I think he'd ordered like some Lehman Russes or something like that from Games Workshop, and he was literally sitting there, and he had time to get that tank in, talk to Aaron, commission Aaron to scrub, build, and paint that Malkador tank. Have time for the paint job to fuck up because the resin hadn't cured correctly or something like that, and the paint had all stripped off. Repaint it and play with it, and his order from GW still hadn't come in.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck, I was just talking about that I ordered some fucking Assault Terminators.
Okay, to be fair, like, James kind of messed that order
no,
up.
that's fair, but the first time I asked, he ordered it. The first time that I ordered those, he put that order in, and it went to GW, and then they just Control-Alt-deleted it.
Yeah.
It took me like 7 months to get a single box. I shit you not. 7 months to get a box of Assault Terminators, right? and I had to order them like 4 times. The 4th time being through Jay, and he got it to me in like half a day, basically, comparatively. But the first time that I ordered it to the shop, they ordered it, and they're like, "Yeah, no, it's shipping, blah blah blah," and then the order just disappeared, and I didn't even think about it for 3 fucking months, and then I went and talked to the shop owner at the time, or the shop manager at the time, and I was like, "Hey, it's been like 3 months. I'm just kind of wondering what's going on with my soul terminators." And he was like, "Your what?" And I'm like, "What the fuck do you mean my what? I've paid for these things." And he's like, "Yeah, your order doesn't exist." And I was like, "The fuck they don't." And he was like, "Well, yeah, I mean, like, I'm not being an asshole. Like, there's no order history." And I was like, "Flip, flip, flip. Here's the fucking receipt on my phone." He's like, "Oh, that's not good." And I'm like, "Yeah, no, it's not. They just fucking deleted my order."
So how did my credit card get linked to your email?
I didn't do it.
Someone did it. It must have been James.
I love buying big purchases from the store.
He will give me a fucking panic attack. It's like, he'll go and buy like $300 at the shop. It'll be like, games and hobbies, $340, and I'm like, I have to pay rent in 2 days. I'll have a fucking panic. I'll be like, Mitchell, take it back. Wait a minute. Okay, no, it hasn't been taken out of my account. I'm good. But like half the time I get those emails when I'm taking a shit, and then I no longer have to take a shit. I think what happened is whenever I got my account for the year is I think like they use my account for one of your things, so you'd get the discount because I was using it like with my card, but you'd pay it, and something like that, and somehow that got linked to my account.
The order that's killing me right now is the Wayfarer Watchers or whatever. It's the Eldari pre-order.
Oh, the new Eldar shit?
That came with the limited art print.
Oh shit, real quick, can we take a real quick, and I don't know if y'all share this opinion, but like, the new Avatar Kane looked dope.
Oh yeah,
it looks fucking fantastic. And it has like a different head too. It has that really stereotypical head, but then it has that
3 different heads.
Then I like the more actual like Eldar like looking head with the top knot. Yeah. Like that shit looks dope. And now he has a sword, an axe, and a spear, which is cool because the first Avatar of Kane had a lance. Yep. And then the second one had an axe, and then the third one had the sword. So they incorporated all 3 weapons for all 3 variants of the Avatar of Kane. Yeah. Like if you haven't seen that model, it looks fucking dope. I also love the fact that it's not the size of a fucking space marine anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
Because
now for competitive play, I'm still gonna run my old Avatar.
Oh hell yeah.
Just I'm assuming because it just looks good, or
no, because it's small.
Because it's small.
Yeah, because you slap him on the new base size, but then he's small, so you can't shoot him.
Nope. You don't have to slap him on the new base size because it came with that base.
Right. He's still on the square base that he came with.
Does that mean that like if you play with old Avatar, you have to use the old rules for him?
No.
Nope. You use the new rules.
But like tactical marines, you can still play with them on 25mm bases.
But does that mean you can't shoot him because he's small?
It makes him really hard to shoot.
Yeah, because he is literally smaller, so you can't draw line of sight on him as easy.
Oh, that has to be a form of cheating, though.
Nope. Technically, you can still run the Hive Tyrant from like second edition.
The tiny ass Mongoloid one,
like 1 inch tall.
Yeah, that's the one that I run.
So you can literally hide it behind a building and say you can't shoot it because you can't see it. But they're like, yeah, but the most recent version of that is big, so I can see it.
And I say no, I don't care.
They're like, no, because this is the model and you can't draw line of sight. Eat my ass.
Yeah. That is exactly how
and
that
that's
works.
allowed.
Yes.
Yeah. That's fucking hilarious.
Welcome to 40K, my friend.
Are you?
But you were saying
does AOS pull that
Age
shit?
of Sigmar is a better game system.
Oh, there's hardly any shooting in AOS.
Oh no, it's very much of a shooting meta at the moment.
Yeah.
At the moment, yeah.
All I'm saying is Seraphon, those little fucking the salamanders are terrifying.
Yeah, they're good.
But you were saying this Wayfarer order though.
Oh yeah, so it was placed on February 26th, and I checked today, and there's not even any status on it shipping or anything.
Is that
to give context to those who don't. To give context for those people who don't like listen to this the next day, it is currently March 24th, so it's been almost a month exactly.
Is that because it's just like consistently sold out because there's so many orders, or just because GW's being a bag of dicks?
Because they're being a bag of dicks. Because I placed it on pre-order day, and they're not fulfilling the pre-order.
Because February is a short month.
Shut up.
Whatever, it's a month ago. It's some horse shit.
I feel like I know this will never happen because GW is Satan, but like I feel like when that shit happens, there needs to be some sort of customer compensation because that's bullshit.
They used to. They used to be a very stand-up company. Like,
did they get a new CEO? Was like let's just do scummy shit, or like?
No, Kevin Roundtree's a really good guy. He's the current CEO.
How the fuck is this allowed then?
Because he doesn't look at that stuff. He only talks to shareholders. He only looks at big picture shit.
Yeah.
Well, this shit is why their stock is going down, because like everyone sees this and they're like, why the fuck do I want to put my faith in this company when they actually don't give a fuck about their player base?
Like, here's the
also real quick, if y'all want to dip. We are not talking about Flesh Eater Courts or the deep dive of them into Bretonia. Like, we're just shit posting. If you want to go.
This is us complaining about the game we love.
Yeah. See,
well, the company anyway.
I don't mean to like keep interrupting, but it just like this really fucking sucks because I've been dealing with some hardcore hobby burnout recently. Just because y'all too know there's been a bunch of bullshit going on in my life recently, and it's kind of maybe it's affected my mood, so I haven't really wanted a hobby and whatnot. And like things are starting to get better, and I'm like, hey, maybe now that things are getting better, oh, your baby girl, oh my goodness, maybe things are getting better now. I'm kind of starting to get more into hobbying. I've been kind of fucking around with my Tyranids a little more. But then I just look back at like the status of GW and it's like, why the fuck do I even want to try?
It's
like, why the fuck do I want to do anything for this company? Like, why do I want to buy new models and do new shit when I know that I'm feeding the beast?
I was just thinking about this the other day when I was looking through Facebook posts. I'm in a 3D print group and I see like a fully 3D printed army. On one hand, I'm like, wow, that's theft. That's shitty. But then on the other hand,
company's a bag of dicks, so like, fuck them. Like, fuck them.
Yeah.
You have the thing where it's like, I want to be a
torn.
law-abiding citizen, but also like, GW can actually suck my balls, so like...
Especially when they were like... So the thing that really fucking grinds my gears... There's a reference
You
for
want to know what grinds my gears?
The thing that really
Binary
fucking
Screech.
grinds my gears. No. So like, Jay, you were the one who told me this. Did you all know that here in North America, we pay double tax on our fucking models?
Are we about to talk about how much it costs to make a Space Marine, basically, and all that shit?
No.
Everybody knows that it's like pennies on the dollar to make.
Yeah.
No. I got a spiel from the creator of Outward Realms about, because he also used to be a Games Workshop employee, and he told me it cost $2
to make a 10-man squad of attack marines, right?
To make a 10-man squad of attack marines and ship it over in bulk.
To get it from
that. I did the math. That's like a times 30 fucking markup.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
like
pennies.
your demographics on that. Not demographics, but fucking
consumer base.
like no. What is it like your economic money words that I can't think of right now. But like when you look
my
at
mother is disappointed in you.
Very much so. When
my mother taught him economics.
Listen, I failed economics. No, but when you look at a company and you see and you look at the graph of like how much it costs for them to exist versus how much they make.
Their profit loss.
Yeah, their profits versus their costs. I forget what
it's
called.
their net, right?
Yeah.
Their net worth. When you look at GW's net, it's like, what the fuck? Because like let's just say like basically hypothetically it's like all their models cost $3, but they make $3,000. Like that's basically what it is. Like, they make so much money off of a product they basically spend nothing on. And it's on one hand it's like
and they steal IP.
Yeah,
they steal a lot of IP.
And on one hand it's like a company making money. That's good. They found a niche where they can make something for cheap and make money up. But on the other hand, it's like you are charging me $60 for something that costs you $2 to make, and I hope
$65 now.
I
got
hope
5% price
don't
increase.
even fucking get me started. But it's like I hope you actually burn in fucking hell.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So
I'd be cool with buying Space Marine if it was like $30 because like that's a really good value for them because they're still making like times 10 on their product, and also like I'm not having to sell my fucking organs to build a 2,000 point army.
You can't blame it on paying their employees well because trust me, they didn't get paid that well.
Yeah, no.
They made that big stink about everyone in GW getting like that $1,000 bonus or something like that during COVID. But it's also like, they got that bonus, but they make like absolutely fucking nothing, and they get treated like garbage.
Years ever. It's
period.
Like, oh, okay, cool, because everybody was still hobbying and still ordering.
Maybe like give your entire company like a $5 to $10 raise for the work they put in, but never mind, right?
Yeah.
But no, and here's going back to what I was saying though. Here's my thing. Do y'all know that we pay double tax for our models?
You told me this.
Because Jay, you told me this because we pay. It's not quite double tax what it is, but we pay all of like the British
tax.
and the London like export fees and shipping fees and things like that. Then we pay like the import fees here in the U.S. and the sales tax here in the U.S.
And then we also pay the VAT.
Yep.
The VAT.
The value added tax. So when you see something in the UK that's like $23...
So you said VAT and I was like, I'm going to follow it now.
When you see something in the UK that's like $23, the tax is included in that price.
Right.
So you still pay tax, you just don't see it. Mm-hmm. And that's the VAT, the value-added tax. That's all it is.
And then
we're paying basically three fucking taxes.
No. But here's the other thing. When they ship it over to the United States, they convert from pounds to dollars, right?
Mm-hmm. No, they don't.
Yeah, they don't actually. What they do is GW basically goes, what's like the best value the British pound has had in the past 10 years relative to the dollar?
And they use that. They convert it off peak pound versus current pound.
Yeah.
So we actually have to pay a higher value than what they're actually
and that's just because GW is just money grabbing, basically. Yep. Are you fucking kidding me?
And then you have like Australia, who's bitching about the costs of models out there. But people don't realize, because they're like, oh, Australia, all the prices are so high because we have to import everything, and video games are $65 or da-da-da-da-da.
Video games are 60 here. Like, get the fuck over it.
Well, their minimum wage is like $19 an hour.
Jesus.
Okay, here's what I have to say about increasing when it comes to minimum wage. It's like you have to. No. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm saying you have to do it intelligently, because if you increase minimum wage, then like everything else is just going to get more expensive, because like no one wants to like pay their people more, so they make their shit more expensive. Yeah. So is it like a good increase for minimum wage, or is it like everyone makes $19 but rents like $3,000 a month?
That's how it is. Like everything's super expensive.
Everything's just
but everybody gets paid more.
Right.
Yeah. And
so.
Oh, I was going to go with the spiel about how with this and everybody kind of hating the company of Games Workshop, it kind of leads to the rise of other gaming companies that probably wouldn't have even rise in the first place. That's why a lot.
But like everyone fucking hates GW, so they're looking for different IPs, basically.
Yeah, so like that's the reason why like I found Outward Realms. I enjoy it. They got models. And then there's Conquest. That's a very popular one. There's
a Star Wars one that's pretty good, isn't there?
Legion, yeah.
It's popular.
Legion, and then if you want your space
X-Wing
or Armada.
Which is unfortunate, because fucking Aeronautica Imperialis is better than X-Wing in every single way.
But
GW sucks at marketing.
Yep. Like no one knows about it.
Yep. Nobody knows it exists.
I've been kind of thinking of getting into Titanicus. How good is Titanicus?
Don't know. They didn't market it well enough, so I never got into it.
It just looks super cool though, because I like Titans.
Yeah, it's
how you play Titans. You think their company would be better at this shit? Like realistically, like fuck.
But like that's the thing though, is it's not 40K and it's not AOS. So you don't fucking hear about it. Because realistically, if they start marketing those other products, regardless of whether or not it's a good game that people want to get into, because that's their shtick, it potentially draws profits away from 40K and AOS, which are their big sale points that they always want to hit.
Then what's the fucking point of making these new games?
So they can have them.
So here's something that I got written up for. It was pretty rad. I was talking to the person. I was talking to the person
sorry, Jay,
that
did
made.
Did it butter your parsnips?
Yes. It made the. I was talking to the person that made the video for Aeronautica, the how-to, the instructional video, and I'm like, "There's been a lot of complaints about the video on the customer end, the consumer end." And he goes, "Why? What's wrong with it?" And I go, "You have an instruction video that nobody ever touched a model."
What?
Yeah. Nobody ever touched a model.
Was there like no like demonstration? It was just like, this is how you do it, and that was it.
The models were set up. There was some stupid chick with cosplay on who looked like an aviator, which makes no sense in the 41st millennium, so okay, whatever.
If you want to cosplay properly, lose some limbs.
At least put a freaking Imperial Eagle on yourself somewhere.
Yeah.
In any event, and all they did was read off like the 6-step cue card of how to play the game that everybody gets in the box or can read on the back of the box,
but
or
they
whatever.
Didn't like actually show it or do any demonstrations or anything.
Nope.
Bro, that is bad. I know me personally, I'm a kinetic learner. Like I have to do it myself, or I have to see someone do it, or I can't. If you just read it to me, I'm like, cool. I don't know. What
you lost me.
Yeah, no, it's horrible. So like that, that would not work for me at fucking all.
So I got written up for telling him that.
I'm assuming you.
But that's constructive criticism. It's good, solid feedback.
I'm asking this because I feel like I have to. I'm assuming you weren't like being a dick when you said it, right?
No.
It was just like this.
I said it in the exact same tone.
Okay,
the exact
so
same
they were
phrasing.
just pissy because you didn't fucking love it.
Right. And what the thing is, I love
Pardon
that
me
game.
for not being part of your hive mind.
Right? I love that
I
game.
fucking love the game. Like, I want you to do right by it. I want you to do it properly so people get into it. But when you do it shittily and everyone's like,
no one cares.
There's a game that I saw that Mini Wargaming was playing, and it's
mini wargaming.
Yeah, it's World War II ships on the table.
Oh, like the Bismarck?
Yes.
Oh, that's super cool.
And I was like, ooh, that's interesting.
Wait.
But it's by Warlord Games.
Can I Dunkirk people in that game?
I don't think so. I haven't looked into it yet, but I want to Dunkirk people.
Hold on, we back in.
Oh, dude.
Me and Phil used to dunk on people with the Dunkirk and World of Warships. It was fucking atrocious.
World of Warships, whenever I got into World of Warships, the Dunkirk was like the first premium I bought for myself, and then like
is
my
such a
second
mean
or
ship.
no, and like and this was back when it was super dumb shit overpowered. In my like second or third game with it, I got a Kraken, and I was like, what the fuck?
You do three things. You go forward, you go backwards, and you set people on fire.
Yeah, and this was back when it had like a 35% fire chance. It was ridiculous.
Well, yeah, and also
anyway,
your front armor was like stupid. You would have like
you almost had an icebreaker.
The Dunkirk was a tier 5 or tier 6.
Tier 6.
Yeah, so you could be the Dunkirk, get into a game with nothing but tier 8s, and they'd be shooting at you in the front in your front armor, and your ship would be like, I'm sorry, I'm too busy not carrying.
You gotta watch out for the overpin.
Well, yeah.
But this was back in the early days when they really didn't have that.
Yeah. But
Anyway, back to Warhammer.
No, fuck Warhammer. The
That's
giveaway.
Big facts.
Oh yes, the giveaway.
So, what's going on with that?
So we decided to do it at 10,000.
We are at like a little under 8,500. And so basically what we decided to do is we're going to go onto our social medias and make posts about like, hey, we're Lorecast Journals. We're doing this giveaway at 10,000. We're going to be choosing the winner in our Discord, and we're probably going to make like a little chat room in Discord for like the giveaway, and probably do something like post a picture of your favorite model, why it's your favorite, and your name. Or something like that, and then we'll just pick. And that's as far as we're aware, still sponsored by Bastrop Game and Hobbies.
Absolutely.
And it's going to be a start collecting kit. Of your choice.
There's nobody listening still at this point.
Watch.
Oh no.
Oh, you'd be surprised. There was one point. I think it was like 3 episodes ago. I think it was the bonus episode 2, where we're talking about the god, and it was like 2 hours in. We've been shit posting for like 40 minutes, and I said something about like, if you want to be a god, just have Daddy Sigmar spit in your mouth. And then I saw someone in our Discord was like, Daddy Sigmar spit in my mouth base, and I'm like, these motherfuckers watched the whole ass episode. Yeah. So they'll do it. They're just waiting for us to say some really dumb shit.
And that's why we decided to go ahead and do it on our Discord, is because we've been getting a lot of really good community interaction.
Oh yeah, anyone to like Eminent and Colt and all you other crazy motherfuckers on the Discord, I love you guys. Y'all are fucking fantastic, beautiful bastards.
Trust me, we'll spit in your mouth one of these days.
Joan,
Come to Texas. I got plenty of spit.
Hold on.
All right, I gotta go.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's a good time, a good place to end it.
Yeah, what are we at?
2 hours.
Just under 2 hours.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Well, real quick, new Tyranid book. I've read it. I've played with it.
Oh yeah.
When is the Codex pre-orderable?
No,
Not yet.
April 9th is what I was told.
And that Combat Patrol.
I don't know when.
Don't know when. You'll be seeing me for those fucking. I know I haven't been in the shop in a while, but you'll be seeing me for those things.
You should ask him what units to buy.
Can't do that one. I could. Termagants.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Strength 5, AP 1, damage 1. I'm sorry. Strength 6, range 24 inches.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing.
It's fun,
dude.
especially that means a 30 man squad of gods can pretty consistently like one tap of dreadnought.
Yeah.
It's terrifying.
So disgusting.
Okay.
Anywho, that was
Bye-bye,
all
everybody.
right.
Adios.
Peace out, y'all. Have a good night. We'll see y'all in 2 weeks. Actually, hold on. We probably talk about this with you moving, Mitchell. When do you think our next episode is going to be? We're probably going to want to. Do you think we need to postpone it while you get set up, or?
2 weekends from now.
All right. There is a distinct possibility that we will. Our next episode might come a little later. Like we've kind of been saying, Mitchell is moving, so it may come in 2 weeks. It may be 3. We're not entirely sure. We'll keep y'all updated in the Discord. But that's it.
And if you guys want to see me back more, then say something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, peace out, guys. Y'all have a good night.